got to see what was inside the scythe. Kiana just took it apart and said I had the void stone in there, and that was. I guess the void stone and the memory stone are still the same thing. I need to. I keep like forgetting
But
that for some reason.
now that you know that that was the thing and you guys pulled it out in this nightmare, it must be really odd to think it back about how she was the one who managed the the changes on your weapon and then gave them back to you.
Yeah, she did give it back to us. It's a little weird to think about. So oh yeah, fucking take it back.
It wasn't much to think about at the time, but
No, true. I was just thinking like
now that there's
it's
little bits more of information, it's kind of like, if she knew about this, then she knew that was there to begin with,
and
which
she put it
means,
back instead of using it herself, which I mean she
or
does.
maybe she took it out, and
True,
that's
I
how
never
you
saw it.
ended up in the nightmare.
That's true. That is the fucking loop de loop right there.
But it seems different, so that
Yeah,
that would just means that time would have to keep going on for you to figure that out.
that's true. I'm really curious if I have that all. I'm really curious if this dagger is gonna come with me too in the next nightmare. I wonder if like certain items. It's just weird to think about because in a way I'm still porting between dimensions. Like I know my character's growing up and stuff like that, but my conscience is starting at certain points.
Well, maybe
So I wonder.
it's the other way around. It seems actually, where your conscious is collecting all this information from different timelines, you could say, quote unquote, right? But worlds, rather. Well, since we've been using that term, we'll just keep going with that.
Yeah,
But you keep starting up in the same at the same time. You're at the same time, same place, but you keep having more information than you did before, and
yeah,
events are changing.
true. Which again, I'm starting to think that me and Brian are the cause rather than a bystander. I think it has more and more to do with our relationship to everything else because we're getting more distanced, and that's kind of like the constant changing factor.
Well, one thing that's definitely for sure is that down in the basement, they said that Ryoshi might know something, and you're certain already just from your experience in the current slash 11th world that you are, or that the Iris family has something to do with it.
Yep, and we're gonna take Kiana's advice and go into the Iris household as well and try to sneak into the storage to see if we can't figure more about their, I guess, see if we can't get some Black Phoenix items, or at the very least figure out what her position is in all this, Kran's, because that's where Kiana said they poke around a lot.
All right, and well, no, that's it, I guess. Also, you guys got to hear a bit of how Adrian found you guys, or at least came across you guys.
That's true. Which again, the way he's finding us is different. I do believe him because that was super specific about the cloth, and the, being that Brian had the memory of the being dropped into the Phoenix Lake, he does. I believe that he didn't know the connection between us and Ryoshi, at least for now. I'd have to figure out more about where Adrian is involved in all this too. Because I remember his name was on that list with Kiana as well as me, Arius, and Ryoshi.
Mm. All right. Anything you want to add to this, Ryan? Since discussing this right now,
No.
anything you want to
Uh,
bring up about plans and stuff like that? Maybe you had an idea about.
no, he summarized our ideas pretty well. I mean, we're trying to figure out what's going on with the iris right now, and other than that, I'm not too sure what else we need to do in this life.
All right. Well, at the moment, you guys are still here in the fourth, and it is about 11 p.m. or so. So, you guys had just finished your conversation with Adrian about how he had found you guys and how you had grown up with him during that time. So, if there's anything else you'd need right now, now's the time, I suppose.
I don't think so.
I think we're good for the moment, at least.
All right. Well, then it's up to you to do with your time as you please.
Okay, we're gonna go poke around. Do we wait? It's really difficult to wait till morning for the trying to sneak into the Iris household. Probably is better to do at night
It is probably better to do it at night, I agree.
because also blood moon's tomorrow. You know.
Makes it a little bit more difficult to go
Yeah.
places.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Everything might be on fire at that point. So
We might also have to contend with a very large demon that is going to dig its way out from underground,
if that happens again.
if that happens again.
Well, it's 11 p.m. as we speak.
Let's go. We're gonna go poke around the Iris house. So I want to kind of see how many guards there are, and if there's a way for me to slip in via shadows, if I can sneak in.
Alright, roger that.
All right.
Just toy around with their storage. You know what I mean?
Let's go give them the best toying they've ever had.
That's fucked up.
All
You
right.
know it.
Gonna move you here. I'm gonna get rid of these old ones. Gonna put this back. This here. One moment. All right. Well, upon arriving, you see that the place is still extremely restless, with plenty of different things being moved around, but the siege weapons still being, mostly those being hauled around. In fact, and mainly large parts, very large, large parts being made at the forges here.
Is there any like traffic going in? I know it's late, but I imagine with the blood moon,
Oh yes,
there's a
there's
possibility of some.
boxes and all kinds of other things being moved about still.
Mm. See if there's an opportunity for us to go in as well, under the guise of helping.
This place seems a little bit different in terms of the kind of work that it's enlisting. The Okamis had all kinds of different people helping them with moving small supplies and other things to a bunch of different locations. The Iroh seems to be having one input and one output here. A large amount of things, but mostly packed in boxes and the otherwise.
Okay, I could possibly try to get into one of those boxes. I don't know what they're holding though, but we might be able to sneak in one because then they'd bring us right to storage, depending on what it is. See if we can't get a peek into what's in the boxes.
They seem to be
Wherever they're
like-
loading them from outside, at least.
They seem to be very large, like industrial-sized crates being carried around on like carts and other things, with small designated crews dragging them in and out. But and they are uniformed as well. They're very much uniformed. As for what's inside the boxes, none of them seem to be open.
Our boxes are coming in and out, right?
Yes, different size, smaller boxes. Some of them look familiar as some of the crates that were being hauled in by the Okami house.
See if I can't trace back the origin of where the ones that are going into the Iris household. See if I can't figure out where they're being shipped from.
They seem to be coming from a very large pile, but otherwise nothing seems to be adding to this pile.
How heavily guarded is the pile?
Very much so. It seems to be actually surrounded by like a line or two lines rather of guards who are watching the perimeter around it, with workers who are moving in to move stuff being checked on the way in and out.
Are they opening the boxes to check before they move them?
No. They seem to be looking on the boxes for something in particular before they move them.
See if I can, just after watching for a little bit, see if there's like a specific location on the boxes that they're looking for, like if it's like an emblem or if it's...
Yes, they seem to be looking at like under the ridges where they kind of record it, and you can hear them yelling something to someone else who's writing something down.
Okay,
What?
probably ID numbers. Is it Brian probably won't be able to, but is it feasible for me to be able to possibly sneak into the pile?
Mm, just judging from the way it sounds or the way it looks, it's going to be very difficult. There's not a whole lot of open spaces, especially between the
Yeah,
crates, and they're being checked fairly thoroughly.
yeah,
And while they're searching, it seems like they're searching for things like, as in like people coming up and approaching.
yeah. I was kind of getting that impression. I thought so, but I wanted to.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit like they don't want no one near it.
I'm really trying to think this through because I want in, but
Most difficult part about this is also you don't have any real connections to the Iros family that would
I
get you
know
in.
even with the people we know with Kiana and Mikasa, the closest connection is the mother, who we definitely know we can't trust at this point.
Yeah.
It honestly might be more beneficial to see if we can't sneak in during the chaos. Because what we're after is information anyway, and we get to keep, regardless
Yeah.
of
We get to
how
keep
our
everything we know,
fates
at least.
end, we keep knowledge. So we might, depending on how chaotic it gets tomorrow. The problem is we're then relying on kind of unknown variables. But we don't have the ability to sneak in, and being that they're so strict on in and out traffic, that might actually just be our best
Yeah, whenever they're all
call.
super occupied with, getting killed.
Yeah, that might be the best. And that's probably what I think we should do. Do you have any other ideas, Arius, on what exactly we might be able to do at least with the night, or do you think it best if we get rest?
I personally think that we should try and get some rest.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
might be
it
beneficial.
seems like it's a little bit too hectic in here, or at least too well guarded right now.
Yeah,
We should wait for it
which
to become more hectic.
which also definitely makes me think that there is definitely something
Something to
there.
hide,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. If they're being this secure, like
Exactly.
the Okamis are probably in general needing to keep more trade craft secrets and such than the Iros is. Yet the Iros has tougher security.
No surprise, they are a
Considerably
warring.
tougher security, yes.
They have a warring. They are a combat-based family, so no surprise that they do, even despite
They'd
the
have more
situation.
combatants for sure, but
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that they'd have to have more guards standing around a bunch of boxes.
Well, it depends. If they're funding something as large scale, that could be like a war, you know. So the
True.
knowing how chaotic the blood moon can get, at least with how much preparation you've seen going around, you can imagine that it must be very, very large scale.
Yeah. Still, I think it's best we investigate tomorrow during the blood moon.
I agree. And if we
'Cause
can
that,
survive long enough, we might be able to investigate tomorrow night while they're all super worn out.
yeah, I don't think there's gonna be much that we can do for the rest of the night because even sneaking places is really
Quite
like with the
difficult.
amount of guards that are gonna be in the important places we need to access. I'm not good enough at sneaking yet to be able to just get in there, so to speak.
Magical darkness is not your forte quite yet.
No, no, I need the stealth. I need that Eve passive.
Indeed.
All right. Well, as the about a little bit of time has passed, about an hour or so of you guys observing and watching the movements in and out of the buildings rather. There is not much to not sorry, not much to note except the extremely high security. Although this doesn't seem anything new from your experience with the 11th World, they very much were this strict as well back then, even during normal times. However, you guys made the conclusion you'll just head back and rest for the night. And as you come home, Adrian is waiting there for you guys as he sees you roll the boulder aside and move it back. And he greets you and welcomes you back. Somebody came by and left you something.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah, some some white-haired girl.
Hmm.
And he hands you a note.
I'll open it up and read it.
Well, she sounds like she knew you guys. I'm gonna crash. And then he lays back down and instantly out.
Ah,
Dead, back at it again with that nap.
the classic move.
Well, upon seeing it, you see handwriting you recognize, certainly Kiana's. Mikasa came back and let me know what she found at her place. Apparently, Adrian had met with Ryoshi today.
Shit, that might have been our fault, right?
Yeah, that could be our fault.
Might
Does
be
it say
worth.
what they met about by chance?
Nope. I saw him leaving on my way out. Adrian, that is. From Father's office.
Did he look unhappy? I guess we can't.
I was gonna say, I don't know if
We're talking to a note, Nathan.
I don't know if asking the note questions is gonna be.
Listen. I'm
Unless
gonna go
you're-
ahead and do that sense motive on the note. It's lying to us, Nathan. We know it. Okay. Anyway.
Well, he didn't say anything about it, so I'm actually a little.
Yeah, it's a little bit suspicious, but maybe it doesn't have to do with us. It's a
But to be fair,
possibility.
when you tried to wake him, he was absolutely knocked out. So that means during the time, he must have woken up and gone there. But was it coincidence?
I don't think so. I don't
I
like
feel like
believing
it
in
wasn't.
coincidence, though. I'm very
Yeah.
anti-coincidence.
Well, what would
It's really
lead-
not such
But
a
also,
thing.
what would lead you to think that it was your fault?
Because we brought up the fact that we knew we knew who our dad was.
Maybe that was why.
Indeed.
The question
He
is,
would
there's a
certainly
couple.
have a reason to go
there's a
see him if that was the case.
Full angles this could be at, though. The fact that it looks like nothing happened gives me bad impressions, though. Because if he
Yeah.
was angry and went and like did something out of rage for what happened, I feel as if we would have heard something. But this
There
seems
would have
more
been
like
some kind of
a
news about it.
talk.
But also, at the
more
same
of
time,
a civilized discussion.
it seems also that if he was a Theron, right? If he's a Theron, they wouldn't let him in.
That's true.
That is
Yeah,
true.
which is another bad. Okay,
Indicator for us.
areas we may not be able to trust Daddy.
Seems like it. We might need to
Mm.
try and keep some secrets from him.
Yeah,
Then finding out what they were talking about is probably a high priority then.
that is. Question is, I could think of a few ways to try to gain that information, but none of them are very
You know what?
positive relationship builders. Let's go.
You know what, Mir? We do get the reset anyways, so it might not be a bad idea to try.
I think I know why we're psychopaths, areas.
I fully agree with you.
I'm starting to connect some dots on why we might be a little loose screwed.
All right.
Listen here. If it works out, we get the reset. If it doesn't, we get the reset. There's no downside here, Mir.
Okay.
Except for that we have to hurt Dad.
Now,
Super fucked up.
Did he just take a step back? Is that what I saw?
yeah, he's rolling around doing barrel rolls while he's sleeping.
What a Chad.
Well, so rest it is, and then the next day, is that the plan?
It looks like it.
Yeah, we can't do anything about that right now.
All right. Well, Miri and Arius close their eyes to get some rest in the familiar warm stone that they've rested on many, many times before.
Yeah, this is still home. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Oh yeah. The warm bed's always nice.
And when they awaken, it's a new day. But they see Adrian in a very familiar position, hand in bottle, lying down, absolutely, well, doing what he does
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
That's my dad.
Well, Dad's not very trustworthy at this moment.
No.
All right, but it's a new day, so
I actually getting some suspicions that he's not quite as.
Drunk, as he would put
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I think this is a
Maybe.
way so we don't talk to him.
It could be.
but
I'm
today
gonna
is
walk
supposed to
over
be
to
the
him.
day of the blood moon, is it not?
It
Seems
is,
like it
but I've
should
got
be.
some. I'm gonna walk over to Dad. I'm just gonna look through his pockets
Well, rifling through his pockets.
carefully, just in case he actually is hammered. But
Well, you can make a stealth check if you really want to be that, quiet and careful about it.
yeah, I kind of do. I really don't trust Dad anymore.
Dad seems a bit dodgy, if you don't.
1d20 plus. Oh, that's not plus. Roll. God. My hands are really autistic right now.
I'm really glad you're redoing. Oh, well, what are you trying to roll for?
Is it move silently or hide?
Or sleight of hand?
I guess it doesn't. Yeah, sleight of hand
Just
would
pick
probably
one.
be it.
Pick one.
Same thing.
Wow.
Well, poking through his pockets, you find a bunch of small things like corks and a couple bottle caps and things from familiar and unfamiliar drinks, as well as a couple of pieces of crumpled paper and other things like that, amongst small scraps and stuff in his pocket. Doesn't seem to be carrying too much.
Go through the paper and just scan them to see if they're anything worth note or if they're just random.
Yes, you see an extremely poorly written handwriting is a bit of a day of his schedule of his day, which is surprising to find. But schedule
Probably
of
to
his day.
remember.
You see in the very beginning, it starts with the day before, or rather 2 days ago. It looks like. I'm gonna just keep it as day whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it says day 98 for you guys. It would be day 98. On the list, he writes one word: blasted. And
Respect.
day 99,
Here.
you see in the beginning, he's got a few things written. He's got the first one saying kind of blasted, and then in the middle, meet with Ryoshi, and then at the end, blasted again.
Okay.
Hey,
May
Mir.
not need to be as suspect, but
I'm getting the feeling that Dad's got a minor case of alcoholism.
minor. Really minor?
Well, listen, we all go through that phase, okay?
This is more than a phase, I think. Okay, maybe not as suspect of Dad, but we still need to be mindful on what we tell him, just in case. Because I
Just
still
in
think that
case.
should have been a topic that came up.
Yeah, especially if he was telling us about our origins.
Yeah.
That's funny though, because he would have met with him before he talked with you guys. Then
Oh,
Exactly.
wait, that's true. Did it say what time on the note?
no,
Hmm.
he said morning, day, and night.
What about
Extremely
the
hard
note
to
that-
read, by the way. He's very.
What about the note that
illegible.
Kiana sent us? Did that give us time?
Sifting through your pockets, you don't find the note. It's gone.
Alright, a magical note. Where'd you place it, Mir?
I think Dad's trying to pull on us. Unless someone else came in.
Well, let's think. Who else could be in here with us? The
Kiana?
possibility.
But
Well,
that's a different.
I don't think so. The only other people I could think of that could stealth roll this high would be the nice invisible men from the
Yeah,
shadows.
but Aries, if that's what happened, we we might as well just fucking forget it because there's no way we're gonna find them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ah,
the
as
note
good as gone.
is gone completely.
It could have been something Keanu did too, to be fair.
It could have.
Well, we know it's not on him. We can't figure that out right now because I guarantee if we try to wake him up, he's not going to respond.
That's true. We could try dumping the alcohol into the water or into the lava in our room. See if that's enough to
Actually,
rouse him.
we should just dump all that out anyway. That way he's
Less
somewhat
blasted.
sober. Yeah, yeah, you see what I'm going with this?
I see where
Throughout the
you're going.
day. Throughout the day. Yeah, yeah. We'll obtain his alcohol and pour it out somewhere.
Well, looking on the table for where he set down the bottle after he had finished it the previous night, it is actually no longer there and rather still in his hands, half full.
Alright, Dad's doing some wizard shit in here, Mir.
Maybe we take the bottle.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and grab that bottle. It
Yeah.
sounds like... You know what, actually, Andy, can I fucking appraise that bottle?
yeah, yeah, maybe we
'Cause
should.
that bottle
I
seems a
don't
little
know.
bit special, I'm
By
not
all-
gonna lie.
By all means.
Thank you.
If that bottle is what I'm thinking, we're keeping that, by the way.
We are not filling it with alcohol, though.
I mean, as long as it's not on his person.
As long as it's not his alcohol.
Yeah.
It seems a plain old bottle. One of his favorites. But nothing special about the bottle.
He probably just keeps refilling the bottle.
It's
Wait, where's he
possible.
refilling it from?
Exactly the problem, where...
Taking the bottle won't do anything then.
Well, let's just take it anyways, because...
You recognize this as his favorite bottle in particular. He only has actually one of these. He shared it with you once in the 11th world, you remember.
Great, we're taking it.
But he used it for celebratory things. And for some
We're
reason
gonna-
it is full again. Or half full, rather.
We're gonna take it for now. If he comes out with another bottle, we'll give it back, but... the goal is to try to get him to stop.
Stop
Die.
drinking for at
Yeah.
least a day.
At least for the blood moon.
Alright, well, world above awaits.
Grab the bottle first, of course, and then we'll go up.
And moving the boulder out of the way, seems just another day. Alright, where are you guys headed first?
We can
I-
check with Kiana to see if anything was
check
up
if
with that
check
nose.
the board.
Ah, yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Just make sure it's the same tasks for the blood moon.
Alright, no outpost then?
No outpost.
Yeah.
Upon re-entering the outpost, you see a bunch of people crowded around the day post again, and you see it's the day before the blood moon.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Oh boy.
We did go back, didn't we? This is the next one.
But something's different this time.
We didn't fight.
We didn't have to die this time.
That actually makes me more concerned than less, though.
Yeah, a little bit. Something's changed. Something major, and we don't know what it is. Unless it was the fact that we came back into contact with the stone.
That gives me an idea. Do we have the tools to take them? Oh, shit, I won't be able to put it back together.
Yeah, I think we should go see Kiana for that.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys over headed to Okami's then?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright. On your way back to the Okami's, you see the same thing you saw previous day. Many different things being moved in and out of the building.
Well, we know how to get in.
Alright, let's go meet
Wait, is Jimbo here?
Jimbo.
Well, out of the, hold on. Well, you see in the pile, you see a large, burly man once again, lifting crates and other things.
The boy. Go help him
And he's
balance.
looking like he's having some issues balancing a crate, just like you
Going
saw
to
before.
balance him up.
That's Jimbo, me boy.
And he sees you
Listen,
two approaching,
Jimbo, your training wheels are coming.
and you certainly recognize him again. It is most certainly Jimbo.
The boy, Jimbo.
Jimbo, look at that.
Jimbo.
Oh man, how did he get so ugly? Jimbo, no.
God, when he said he was pretty fucking ugly, I didn't think he was this bad.
Man, I didn't think it was terminal.
Well, either way, as you're assisting Jimbo in moving the crate up towards the
Jesus
Okamis.
fucking Christ.
I can't
I,
look at that.
I see what you meant, by the way, about a thing.
Come on.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'm gonna get flamed at some point.
Oh god, I can't. I can't. Be honest, I can't look at my fucking computer. Every-
Jimbo.
the stupid little grin. Just full 240 that. Full 240% that. 250% that and look at him.
No, I'm not getting close. I am not getting closer to that. I am not getting closer. You could not pay me to zoom in on that motherfucker.
All right. Well, Mir and Arius are admiring Jimbo's face and muscles as they help him
Sorry,
move
I'm
crates up the ramp.
God. Oh, I don't want to look at Jimbo anymore.
All right. Mir and Arius are helping Jimbo.
I really was not ready.
All right. Okay, so Mir and Arius are helping Jimbo move crates up the ramp towards the Okami household. Once again, moving inside, you can see the usual chaos. Directors pointing different things around, men holding blueprints behind the main director. All the same sights.
Is Kiana in her office with the pile?
Yes, she is, and the same man comes back over and dumps a bunch of stuff on her desk as she looks bored once again, hand on fist. Her head on fist.
We'll walk over there.
Stroll on over there.
Now, as Mir and Arius head over there, Kiana is still just head down on her desk now, just resting and kind of slowly and sifting through stuff, seemingly like she's more procrastinating than anything else.
Excuse me.
Well, Mir's voice can't even be heard over the chaos, as she isn't
Go tap
even
her on the shoulder. Yeah, that was my bad.
tapping her on the shoulder. You see she looks up and sees Mir and immediately puts her head back down.
Wow.
I was wondering.
I knew you were not popular, Mir, but
Damn.
damn.
I was wondering if you could help me with something.
I'm a bit busy.
Please, you want to take your mind off of that pile. This will give you something to do.
What do you have in mind?
I was wondering if you could help me take apart my weapon.
Don't really have time for that right now. Says, kind of looking up and down at her weapon and then looking back at you and then putting her head back down. My
Oh.
family's got expectations at the moment. Can't really handle commissions right now.
It won't be too long, and a little break isn't going to ruin anything.
She lets out a sigh as she picks herself up and grabs your weapon. As you see, she freezes up for just a moment. And then admires the weapon. And then hands it back. Like I said, commissions, not right now. You see, she begins working on pulling things from the pile and assembling small parts.
Well, is there another time that I can meet you then?
And at that, she stops what she's doing and looks up and meets eye to eye with Mir. After the chaos is over.
Sounds good to me.
I'll be at my desk.
Of course.
Thanks for your time.
And she goes back to assembling different pieces.
Well, we're gonna run through the same series of events, I think, unless you have anything to change areas.
I don't try
Try
it
to,
all again.
yep, give me
Want to
that.
sneak down into the well, do you want to sneak down into the basement again?
Yeah, that's what she means by the at the desk. Her
Okay,
desk down there.
great.
Yep. I wonder if there's a way we can get you in.
That's highly unlikely. You see, I'm this thing called
Is
a
the
big bumbling idiot.
is
All
the
right, I make a lot of noise.
is the cracks still there in the vent?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
On the way out, yeah. You notice that there's, yes, those are still there. The
okay, so
vent
we
is
still have
still.
the same way in. Yeah.
Wonderful.
This time we're only gonna use my coin purse to bribe Jimbo, and we're gonna ask him to
Agreed.
heft you up gently.
Just let me stand on your shoulders, please. Looking at Jimbo's profile pic, it seems a little bit difficult to get him to understand.
You might be a little retarded. And a bad jungler.
That's not
Well,
considered jungling
now-
here.
Moving on from there, and moving back out to the small pile of a bunch of different things there, and the smaller director yelling at him, and so forth, so on. You guys are back outside now. What's the plan?
We're gonna try quite literally the same plan where we're gonna see if we can't acquire the tool, bribe Jimbo, and get us through the vent again. Luckily, we've been through this once. I think the same steps should work.
Yeah, but this time it's only been about 20, 30 minutes. It's
Yeah, we'll just have to work for the rest of the day. We're actually, while we're doing this, I wonder if is the Iros. Let's go to the Iros household real quick. Areas. I wonder if they have
if they've got
their
the same
traffic
in and
exchange.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
If we can do the whole sneak in there as well, that'd be pretty good.
We could always try the Nakanos as well.
well, at the Iros home. You see, it's extremely busy. Once again, but this time from the source pile of crates, you could see that there's actually crates being moved there by men from uniforms in the Nakano household.
Huh.
Hmm.
Are they coming from the same pile, or are they coming from the Nakano household?
They're coming from the Nakano household to the big source pile that was being moved in the previous night.
Let's see. So maybe we can try and go to that
Yeah.
Kano household.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go see what the Nakanos are doing, see if we can't get in there and get into one of these crates.
And
Or just maybe.
not to mention what was happening there from what you heard the previous night
Indeed.
with Adrian meeting Ryoshi.
I really wonder when that's gonna happen.
Well, Mikasa said it was happening at her place in his office.
Yeah, in the afternoon. That's a very broad time.
That's not a bit. Yeah. There's a lot of time.
We
in
might
the
be able to
afternoon
watch
or
out,
something.
actually.
Okay, so where are you headed?
We're gonna head to the Nakano household, because it's still just the uniformed guards bringing stuff in the Iris houses, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
still the same process you saw the night before.
Okay.
This time, moving over to the Nakano household, you see that they've also enlisted a lot of work from different families as well. Mostly moving small things, but the larger crates seem to be left with the specifically uniformed groups. Moving in and out of one of the side gates, being checked with the person at the checklist, and guards at the doorways.
But it is many different houses bringing things in.
Not from that one where they're moving the large crates, no. Specifically, in the Nakano family is moving the large crates that are going to the Iros source pile from a gateway where that's being checked and used only the Nakano uniformed people.
Yeah. So there's something very big in those crates, but
Yeah, they don't trust anyone else enough to move them.
What I'm thinking is we might be able to get into that office, though. We know where the meeting's gonna happen. If we can sneak in and hide, or if I can sneak in and hide, I can listen eavesdrop on the mission, on the meeting. I mean,
You very well could, but it'd be very difficult to get in there.
well,
It seems like
we
at this kind of time, right before a rather major event, yeah,
no
it'd
no
be
no.
quite well guarded.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna try to go through the main gate with the through traffic the same way we've kind of gone through the Nakanas. I'm really curious about the side gate, but I don't think we're gonna have the
I
ability to
don't
check
think
that
it'll be
quite yet.
too much luck there.
No, no. We know what we want Costa to look into next, though. I think those
Well,
crates. Actually, what they're doing.
seeing as moving people moving, other supplies inside, you see one of the other directors come over and kind of yell at you to go make yourself useful and grab something as you guys are standing around observing them.
All
Gladly,
right.
gladly do something and try to make it to where we're bringing something inside the Nakana household.
All right. Well,
Yes.
picking up some of the smaller things like smaller boxes and containers of other different things like rocks and whatnot, uh, moving it inside. You see that there's lots of chaos going on inside the hallways and other things, but in particular the doors to some of the major areas like the main dining hall and other things are cut off from these locations, and the small supplies. You guys are following the stream of people into one of their smaller workshops, where it's a lot of similar things happening like the Okami household, processing small parts, and packaging especially. You see a lot of them putting stuff into boxes of different various sizes and setting them off.
Oh shit! Before I forget, did that dagger or the cloth come with me?
No, they're
Oh,
not with you.
Okay, just want to check.
I don't believe we've done a full reset here. I believe we just kind of got rewound, if anything. At least that's how it feels to me
Thanks.
right now.
That might be what
That's just
happened.
kind of how it feels.
You might be right about that. Actually, we might have just been rewound. I wonder what. I wonder what changed. Other than the fact that we didn't kill Friend, and thus we didn't fight Drake. Hmm.
Which is odd because you had plenty of opportunities where you were close.
Yeah, we had plenty of opportunities too. Okay. I wonder if we did. It might have to do something with what we did to the stone, maybe. I don't know though.
True.
Fuck. By the way, what am I gonna say when those the Shadow Boys come out if it happens again? If it did rewind and they're gonna do the same thing?
Give them the all rise.
Yeah, that's a good little simple thing. That's
Well,
probably what I'll try.
poking
Anyway,
around, you see that through the workshop areas, they seem to have a ventilation system, much like the other place, but without the archways and stuff on the roof. But regardless, um, yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary. You see that much like the Okami household, a lot of workshop direction and things like that. Packaging mostly more than assembly.
so this is a place we could, in the future, go through. But I want to talk to Kiana again too, though, because I need to be the one that goes to her because I'm the one with the stone, and it might be best. Also, fun fact that we just learned: all we need for Kiana to do is touch my
Stone.
my scythe. She didn't even have to undo it. That's very helpful. Uh, is there people going in and out of? You said the rest, like entries into the rest of the house is kind of blocked off by, I assume, guards. Is there any traffic going in and out?
Not a whole lot. You see mostly just important-looking members of the Nakano family moving in and out of those locations.
Okay.
But one room in particular, the main dining hall seems to be more guarded than the others. with nobody going in and out of there in particular.
Based off of what I remember when I was a Nakata and was able to go here, where would the office be? Would that be?
Attached in the other end of the main dining hall.
Yeah, okay.
You have to pass through the main dining hall to get to Ryoshi's office.
Okay,
We
that's
could
why
just
it's
kind
more
of stand outside of it and outside the main dining hall and see if we can't find Adrian as he's coming in.
You mean like go with him essentially? See if we can't tag along to his meeting.
Not so much, because if he didn't tell us about it the first time, he likely won't let us come with him the second time.
Well, he might not be telling us because he might just. I mean, it's one of those things we're not supposed to know. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to know our relationship or our house or even his house. So it probably would seem really random for him to say I'm going to meet with the leader of the Nakanas.
Yeah.
But even then, I still don't know how much we should trust him right now, with that question mark that
No, I
you know,
agree.
had on him. As much as I want to trust him,
Yeah, as much as I'd like to, it feels a little bit.
I
Not
really want to
right.
get in there. But is there any like servants going in and out of the main dining hall? I imagine there might be a couple.
None.
None. That's super sus.
Yeah. A little bit.
Well, as you are sitting, like, kind of just observing from a safe distance, you see Ryoshi actually makes his way through the crowd and goes past the guards and into the dining hall.
Which means Adrian should be soon, probably.
And as
Fair
he is
enough.
about to pass through the doorway, he kind of whispers with some of the guards, and a couple of them get sent off, and you see basically they kind of just order some things around. You can't quite hear them, but yeah, some of them run off towards one of the major entrances, and the rest of them remain there.
Probably waiting to go get Adrian. Waiting for Adrian. Is there look like a ventilation I might be able to get into that would lead to? I guess probably not the office, but to the dining hall. Maybe the office. I don't know how intricate they are.
Uh, the dining hall generally most of the kitchens are attached to it, so it'd be likely that there was ventilation in there to at least get into the dining hall area or possibly the office if you were to poke around, but you're unfamiliar with the system, so.
Yeah. I'd need a way to get into the system first. Start looking for ways. We're gonna have to be kind of quick about it. See if there's a way anywhere it looks like I can get into the ventilation system.
All right. Poking around all the different places, the workshop certainly has a couple of holes to get in, but they seem to be covered and sealed quite tightly. However, one of the areas in the back kitchen, poking your head through the doorway, you can see that the ventilation system there is open.
Okay, that's probably our best bet areas. Question is now we need to get into the kitchen. Is the kitchen guarded or no?
Yeah, slightly. It seems that mostly servants and other things are moving through there.
We can see if we can acquire servants' outfits, uniforms. Based off of my experience from when I was a Nakano, is there... Oh, that might be further in too, though. I was gonna say like servants' quarters, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Closely attached to the kitchen. This would be memory you have from previous worlds, so yes.
Closely attached to the kitchen. Is it on the other side of the kitchen of where we are? Or?
Just down the hall from you. Nothing too difficult to get to.
They're probably... I would say they probably might not even guard that.
It's not even guarded at all.
Yeah. I'm gonna... From my time at the Nakano's, I remember how many like servants there was. Is there like basically what I'm asking is there enough to where people would not remember
many
like other servants would not remember?
Oh, okay. Likely not. They have multiple sets of servants' quarters for different things. Kitchens in particular, they don't see many of the faces that they're serving.
Okay. Honestly, Aries, we probably could just walk in and make it look like we're getting ready for the day. Like we were running errands and now we're about to get into uniform and get ready. You know what I mean?
I agree. It wouldn't be too bad of an idea.
No, I think because I don't think any of the servants are gonna like try to say anything, right? Because they're probably just gonna like, oh, I don't know.
New help kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I don't know. So most people who aren't important aren't gonna say anything because they don't want to fuck up,
Yeah,
especially on
they
a day
don't
like
want to
this. Yeah.
risk anything.
Okay, we're gonna try the like walk in like we're. I mean, we do kind of know the place actually, so it wouldn't be too awkward. I
Well,
think we just walk in.
walking straight into the servants' quarters doors, no one bats in a single eye.
Yep.
As you roll
No
in,
one
you
looks at
see all
servants.
kinds of different, old beds and other things with clothes and other sorts of things being strewn around, and fresh uniforms being hung on the walls nearby as well.
See if we can't
As you
find
see.
fresh uniforms that match our stature. We need them to fit well.
Yep, absolutely. And there's all sorts of different sizes arranged on the walls. As you see, some servants actually bringing clothes back and forth, uh, clean and unclean, to in and out of the room. Hanging up more in different sizes, Mir and Arius poke through some of the different sizes before grabbing the ones that seem appropriate. And you see that many other servants are rushing to change and be getting ready for the day. So, and with that, you two also prepare, so just following along with some of their steps and grabbing whatever it is that it looks like, various emblems and uniforms and other things like that. It's a small little like amount of tools as well before moving out with the rest of them towards the kitchens.
Yep.
And as you pass on through, the guards don't seem to pay you much mind as you pass into the kitchen. And upon entry of the kitchen, you can see that the kitchen also seems to have its head chef directing different servants to do other things, cooking and moving supplies around. As guards are moving in and out with other supplies as well, passing through to a door on the other side of the kitchen to like a sort of storeroom for small, for food and other things like that. Food and utensils and such.
I think the play here, Arius, is you see if you can maybe do a fuck up to get everyone's attention. Actually, the vent, is it somewhere I can reach quickly?
Well, you can see the vents that are. The kitchen is actually quite a small room, probably reachable if you stood up on one of the counters, but that would not be very easy in terms of the amount of attention it would draw. But on
we would
top of
need a
that,
distraction.
you see a familiar face. One, a very large, burly man in a chef's uniform,
No.
whose hat is far too small for his head.
Is it the boy?
Oh Lord.
Yes, it's him.
I-
It's
I'm
Please
a
don't put
little
it on
Jimbo
stream.
in the corner,
dude. I'm
flipping
just
a
saying,
very
Jimbo's
small
up to some
pan.
shady shit.
Dude, Jimbo's everywhere, man.
Jimbo is also doing some shady shit.
Dude, Jimbo can be an accomplice.
Well, either way, he's simply, messing around with all the different food supplies, as the most of the things are too small for his hands. Uh, Mostly, as you see, well, a small director at his area is kind of yelling at him to move food and stuff around correctly, and as Jimbo crushes one of the pans in his hand, just looks at the man, and then continues with the bent pan, dipping food in it. But yes,
So
there are
is
multiple
Jimbo,
entryways for the for the vents above.
if there's one I can reach on, clear, just make it look like I'm working, clear the area before, so that way if I need to, I can quickly jump up.
Moving a
Yeah.
lot of the dirty dishes out of the way on one of the tables closest to the vents. No one pays you too much mind.
Is Jimbo like look like he's a lead chef, or
No, not in particular.
walk up to Jimbo and give him a small smirk?
As he looks down at you, he just kind of doesn't pay you any real attention as he keeps throwing things into the pan.
A distraction would be nice because I only need a little bit of one, and I might be able to stealthily get into the vent. What are you thinking, Arius? Either you or him, but we might need our point
I'm
purses.
thinking some dirty dishes all over the floor might not be a bad idea, man.
Okay, if you want to carry him to the other side, do you want to do it, or do you want the chef to do it? Because if we, as a servant, fuck up, we might get like severely punished. Whereas the chef, I think they'll yell at, and that's probably it.
But the problem is, why would the chef be moving the plates?
Maybe he bumps into you,
Well,
Yeah,
then
it's
it's technically
possible.
still his fault.
on the
You know
table
what
next to Jimbo, you see there's a lot of dirty dishes there, and most of the people seem to be avoiding him for the most part, as most of the stuff is piling up, and a lot of the servants are a little too scared to come over there and grab the dirty dishes to wash.
pull a couple of cold or blah, 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 gold coins, and put it into his pocket and kind of eye the dishes and mouth 5 seconds, and then start walking over to the vent. I want to see if he knocks it over in 5 seconds. I feel like that was pretty self-explanatory, but
And he looks
Yeah.
at Mir for a second, kind of stopping as the sizzling in the pan continues, or the bent pan rather, and he continues cooking before looking at the dishes and looking at you. As Mir moves back over to the cleared table, mostly cleared table now, with the vent open just above it, and we see he kind of throws the pan around a little bit as some food comes flying over. And in a rage, he swipes all of the dishes off of the table, creating a very large and loud crashing sound as many of the servants look over. And you see that the only sound in the room now is the director just kind of finishing some of the orders that he was yelling as
right as
he
that
also looks over.
yeah, right as that crashing's happened, just jet up into the vent as quietly as I can, quietly and quickly.
All right. Well, and Mir quickly scrambles into the vent in the meantime, shutting the opened door, it's like sort of swinging panel back over it so that many people don't seem to notice. And you see that the small director has come over as Arius is observing in wonder at the spectacle as Jimbo grabs the man yelling at him and kind of just slides him across the room and begins
Jimbo.
mopping up the pile, grumbling all the
That's
meanwhile.
that's the boy, dude. We're gonna have to pay Jimbo back. 100%, this guy's gonna ask for some shit at some point.
He is definitely going to ask for something.
That's okay. We might have to help him as long as it's not fucking with us too much.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can't trying to keep a image of the like the direction to Yoshi's
Oh, this.
office. I'm gonna try to see if I can't path there through the ventilation
Oh yes,
system.
directly across from the vent that you were at is a closed vent looking straight into the dining area, and then farther along the vent continues off straight back through looks like some a sealed off area, like inside the vent it is sealed with grates towards presumably Ryoshi's office. Hold
Go
on.
over to the.
Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. You guys figure out a plan real quick. Give me a second.
Okay. So I think at least peek into the dining hall, see if there's anyone in there. Like anyone that doesn't seem
Yeah,
like they should be there. Then just quietly, emphasis on quietly, sneak through those vents.
The
Any
grate.
kind of noise in those vents could
Yeah,
set
I'm gonna have to be
someone
super
off.
quiet. The grate in between where Ryoshi is, though, I have some tools on me. I know because of the servant stuff. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
gonna be enough though. So what
Yeah,
we
it's
might need to
either-
do is I'll probably come back and kind of like give you a signal that I need a tool, and you might have to slip that to me.
Mhm.
I'll have to figure out what the grade is. I'm gonna see.
Maybe you could just lift it up. We don't
Sorry.
know yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't investigated it yet, but
Sorry about that. Sorry. Fill me in.
no problem. So I'm gonna take a peek into the dining hall to see what's kind of going on there, see if there's anything that stands out. And if not, I'm gonna investigate the grate to see, because I know I have some tools on me. I want to see if tools are required, if there are any that I have on me, or if I need something else. Then I'm gonna have to figure out a way to communicate with Arius
Well,
to get acquired tools.
On the other side of the grate, you see that it turns off into what looks to be Ryoshi's office, right? But
Yeah.
on that, you see that there is a vent inside the dining hall that connects to that specific one on the other side of the grate from you.
Oh, okay. So I could loop around. I see what you mean.
So you
I'd
could
have to
loop
go
pa-
into the dining hall first, though, right? And then
Exactly,
loop in.
yes.
Okay.
The only thing that would be inside the dining hall would be the ridges at the just above the vent. There wouldn't be like large archways for you to be kind of sitting over and stuff like that. But yeah, it would be very obvious if you were on that kind of like shimmying over, but you'd also have to spend the time to unscrew the vents and such.
Okay. Do I have the tools and the ones that I acquired for when
Yes, you have.
pretending to be a servant?
Yes,
Okay.
you do. You have a small little pouch of tools of different various things, small utensils to keep on hand, as well as small maintenance tools.
Okay.
Certainly
Yeah.
enough to unscrew the vents.
Question is, so what? Who's all in the dining hall right now?
Seemingly nobody, except Ryoshi, at the end or at the head of the table, just kind of poking through
Uh-oh.
some papers and other files.
Okay. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's gonna wait here until Adrian shows, and then they're gonna go to his office.
Yeah, it sounds like we're probably gonna go
Which
like.
means I have a small window to get in and out when they're going into the office. Which means I'll miss the first part of the conversation, but that might be the best we can do. Because I'm really. How much is Ryoshi facing the direction that I'm in, or is his back to me?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, he could see the entire dining hall except for just the door to his office.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I have no way of speaking right now,
Mm,
so I think I'm gonna. I have the tools to eavesdrop on him. I just have to wait for timing. That's pretty much where we're at right now.
yeah, that's what it seems like to me.
And I have to hope that no guards come in when uh come in, or whatever guards come in with Adrian don't stay in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait. Gotta be patient. Because even if I don't hear the entire thing, if I can catch most of it, I'll still be fine. Okay, yeah, we'll wait.
Well, about 30 minutes to an hour passes before you see that the door at the very front of the front of the dining hall across from Ryoshi opens, and you see that some guards walk in, escorting a very familiar face, Adrian. And you see as the guards kind of give him a scoff and leave. As you see the two stand across from each other, not saying a word. And eventually, after the silence breaks, Adrian finally walks around the table towards Ryoshi, as Ryoshi also gets up and kind of picks up some of his papers as he motions towards the door to his office.
Wait until they go in. I gotta play this careful. Getting caught's the worst thing I could do.
Yeah, the getting caught is the big end.
Yeah, losing some information for
Safety.
coming out alive is pretty good, I think.
I believe that is a worthwhile trade.
Well, regardless, you see that they enter the office and the door closes as the lights seem to dim on their own inside. Or inside the dining hall, as nobody is in there.
Okay, I'm gonna quietly and kind of quickly try to unscrew, get out, rescrew, go to the other vent, and enter that way.
Upon quickly unscrewing, Mir shimmies along the way, holding on to the ledge above, while unscrewing the vent slowly. Finally, as the vent panel flips up, she dips her way inside and closes it behind her. She's on the other side of the grate now.
Perfect. Quietly, and I can't emphasize the amount of quiet. Go to where Ryoshi's office is.
All right. Well, slowly and quietly crawling along. Towards the vent, you can begin to hear voices very softly through the vent. And on the wall, as you finally get over to the vent, you can see that Adrian and Ryoshi are standing there, chatting kind of quietly. On the like I said, on the wall, a large image or painting of someone is on the wall, along with paintings of people like Mikasa and stuff like that. You can also see this woman with the label. And now looking over to Adrian and Ryoshi, you can kind of hear them mid-conversation as their voices raise a little bit. And you hear Adrian speaking. You can't keep blaming them for Taya's death, you know. Accidents do happen, even if it doesn't seem like it. She... Accident... Accident. You don't know them like I do, Adrian. These people will find out that they're still alive. They probably know even now. It's only a matter of time before they have my children in their clutches again. And I've done what I had to do to protect them. And you promised me you would protect them as if they were your own. I did. I don't ever recall taking that back. They're every bit as much as my own now, and even still. If you banish them now, it'll look too suspicious. If they pay attention as much as you say they are. If I banish them or exile them, where would they even go? They have no tiles, no friends or relatives to keep them safe out there. And if I had sent away 2 specific children, it would raise way too many alarms with them. Worst of all, they probably hate me even more than they do now. Alright, you may not know, but they sure as hell got one thing from you. They have the will to go on no matter what. These kids are stubborn as all hell, and when you leave them to their own devices, they'll find a way. You've destroyed their birthright and your own image as a father to them just to save them from something you don't want them to ever experience. If you, no, if we force them out into the world, they will be a lot safer out there than they ever would be here. And who knows? They might even bring this whole mess to its knees. More importantly, isn't their safety more important to you than what they think of you? Ryoshi looks up at him. It is. I'll accept any hatred from them that I had coming. I'll face the consequences head on so that they might live. But we need a plan that would send them away without seeming too suspicious, otherwise it's a waste. I have the authority, but I need a reason. Hey, from what Kiana's told me, their reality's a bit bent out of shape. The other 4 have been filling the holes in the story. Whatever they were supposed to do, she says the 4 will take care of it, so they won't notice a thing. As far as getting them out is concerned, I have a plan, but it's sure as hell gonna suck for me. And again, I can't really uphold this promise to you unless I do it. What do you have in mind? I need you to keep that authority of yours. You're gonna exile them, but for the murder of another hunter. What do you mean the murder of... Oh no, don't do this, Adrian. I said I would take responsibility. You do not need to do this. Roshi, you are taking responsibility for this. As far as I'm concerned, being loved and dead is probably a lot better to me than being alive and hated by the only people I care about. You're paying for it just fine. And meanwhile, I'm over here taking the easy way out. You see, Ryoshi puts his head in his hands. There won't be anything left for me here. Taya's dead. Mikasa thinks I'm a liar and won't talk to me. Ymir and Arius will never know that I never wanted them to feel this torment. They'll never know what you died for. Now listen here. Give them some credit. They're sharper than they look. One day they'll know it all and bring Black Phoenix to their knees. And I mean all of your children. And that Okami kid, too. I'll do whatever it takes to get them there. I'm in it for the long game. You see Adrian waves his hand behind him as he walks towards the door and opens it and slams it shut behind him as the echo fades through the room as Ryoshi sets his head down on his desk.
I'm considering risking it for the biscuit.
Risky for the bisky, huh?
I might be able to get a lot of information right now if I go.
Oh, well, here's the thing. You could just wait till he leaves and try and find something. But if you want to speak to him, it's going to be very dangerous. Not because, he's going to kill you, but because, hey, you might change something major.
Yeah, it's a little worrying, isn't it?
Hmm.
You see Ryoshi stands up suddenly, holding his head up high, taking a deep breath before he walks towards the door, opening it and passing through, slamming the door shut behind as well.
Wait a couple seconds, then unscrew the grate and hop down.
Well, you just hear the echo of footsteps move out towards the dining hall as the large door from the dining hall also closes for the second time.
Also, Kiana knows more than she's saying.
It would appear so.
Again.
It would appear as if we're being kept in the dark on purpose.
Yeah.
But once again, maybe for our own good.
Yeah.
Well, popping down into the office, uh, the office just lights up a little bit as the lights on the walls light right up on their own. Well,
Start going through his desk, see if I can't find anything. I'm gonna look at that picture last, but
well, only things on his desk seem to be mostly blueprints and other different plans and such.
see
You
if I
see it.
can.
You
Oh,
see a lot of the large overarching blueprints that you notice from the Okami family, scrolls and such of what looks like schematics for the meteor cannon and its ammunition. You can see that there's a small little plan on the table as well on deliveries. Or rather, maybe a manifest is a better way to put it. I'm not sure if that's quite the right word, but
yeah, yeah. See what's going to the irises.
you can see that it's mostly just serial numbers being told to move from certain locations. It's almost like he didn't write the manifest himself. Seems it was pre-written. So you see serial numbers between like 1,000 and like 1 to like 1,100 to Iroh's family, and then 1,101 to Okami, so forth, so on. But it doesn't quite label what's in them. On top of that, you see that the shipments that they're receiving are coming from the east, for certain. Specifically, it labels one name, the Darkettes. And under that, you can see the symbol stamped of a black phoenix.
I still don't know if he has anything to do with the Black Phoenix or not. It's so weird.
It
'Cause
is
he wants
quite
he wants us
difficult.
to get them to kneel, as he said. Bring them to what was it? Bringing them to heal, but it doesn't necessarily mean he isn't a part of them. Because again, we had this conversation last time. There could definitely be different factions within the Black Phoenix.
Exactly.
Well, poking through his
And
desk.
this,
Sorry.
what's her name? The lady in the photo could have been, well,
One
obviously his wife, it appears, but
that we apparently killed.
indeed, that's not our fault though, as we all know. Anyways, she could have been one of the more influential people in one of these factions, and then she died because of something that we did not do, obviously. Um, so he might be involved. We just don't know how.
Yeah, I still think he is. Yeah, it's really difficult to figure out exactly where he stands in that, other than he's against the faction or maybe entire Black Phoenix that's trying to get their hands on me and you, because they
That's
definitely want that.
Well,
No,
poking
oh,
through
sorry, I'm
his.
just
Oh,
keep
sorry.
going.
poking through his desk some more, you can see that there are small crumpled pieces of paper here and there, as well as another book that you actually recognize, but a much more comprehensive one at that, it seems, of uh, like family bloodlines and stuff like that in Firefall,
Ooh, let's find
specifically
us.
of the Nakano family.
Yeah, let's find us and see where this comes from.
While poking through, you can see that, of course, there are some, father and mother names you don't recognize for Ryoshi's father and mother and stuff like that. But moving over to him, you can see that the family tree for Ryoshi is that he was once married to Taya Nakano, who was the mother, and that he was never with any other. You can see that there were 3 children listed, and that their causes, and so forth, so on, and their current status. Taya Nakano died at the birth of, at the same day that his third child died, Ryoshi's third child. Maya Nakano died at the same time that Taya did, as well as another second name, but they didn't die at the same time. It seems that this child was died about a year earlier, supposedly. Um, it was Steelus Nakano, who is supposedly dead, male, and Mikasa, first child, eldest, still alive.
Yeah, that's probably just the story. Change the names too, so it can't be caught back to us.
And you see that Adrian was also blood brother to Ryoshi, and that there's no others.
Walk over to the portrait of investigate it, kind of look around it. I don't think there's. I shouldn't say anything. I'm just gonna kind of do a spot check for any buttons, hidden latches, anything that's out of the ordinary for just a picture.
Observing the painting, well, make a spot check, I guess.
Spot, 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 spot. 5.
Well, observing the painting, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary about it. It seems a very large painting. Uh, although she seems familiar. She seems very familiar, but at the same time, she doesn't.
Is there any emblems on her? Specific question, but
Looks like, Nakano family seal. Other than that, no.
kind of like, is it bolted? Is it or not bolted, but nailed down or held up only by the top?
Yes, it's held on to, it looks like it's hanging.
Kind of just lift up a little bit to see if I can't see if there's anything behind it.
Lifting it up, you see that there's nothing behind it, seeming just stone wall in the office.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything else I should investigate. Is there any pictures of his children that died here?
None. There's a painting of only one other person, and that would be Mikasa.
Kind of investigate all the paintings just to make sure.
Same thing
I
with
imagine.
hers.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I imagine if there'd be anything, it'd probably be under the big one. Okay.
Otherwise, he doesn't have images of anybody else. Just a large map of the Firefall area.
Ooh, actually, let's go see if he's got anything written on the map.
Not in particular. It seems just
It-
like a large planning map with pins and stuff on the side that don't seem to be used at the moment.
Is the East still? No, I mean they're not. It's not the Fallen territory, right? It's.
This is all of Firefall right now,
Oh,
and
okay.
you can see that there is indeed listed the Fallen Territory.
Didn't the last time? Even though it seems like a reset, they were not the Fallen territory, correct?
That's correct.
I don't believe they were. Yeah.
It wasn't the Fallen Territory last time.
So this is a new one. first little check around for anything that just seems out of the ordinary, but if not, I'm gonna start heading back.
Like I said, nothing else except for small little scraps of paper here and there, crumpled up and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, read them, skim through them, but if it's nothing that's relevant.
All right. No, picking up some of the scraps of paper, you see one scribbled in handwriting you don't recognize. Um, Most of it torn up. It seems to be parts of something else, but
The one I don't recognize, is it legible?
it's legible.
What does it say? Anything important?
We know they are alive.
Hmm.
Huh.
Uh,
Try to stare at the note for a while. I want to try to memorize that handwriting to see where it came from. I'm gonna see if it might be Quran's, but
Looking at the
so
handwriting, it's hard to trace. Um, it's definitely not very good handwriting, but at the same time, it seems to. It's not like handwriting you've seen from other people. At least in Firefall, you don't really recognize this kind of handwriting, and the ink is of a different color. Firefall tends to use a lot of red, uh, red and yeah, mostly red and black colors. But this one was definitely a brighter gray and white on like a white piece of paper.
yeah, it's coming from an Easter. Interesting. Go through a couple of more of the papers scattered and see if there's anything else in this handwriting or anything else that's.
Nothing that you see. No. Oh, we'll make a spot check real quick for me. Ah,
I see nothing.
you see God.
yeah. You forgot that you were in a room. The floor disappears below you. No, I'm kidding. Make a search check.
What's my search? Also 5.
How is this possible?
Oh no!
Hey Nathan.
Can I make A? What else?
Hey, real quick, out of character here, Nathan. I'm gonna need Mir to stop doing this whole formation she's got going on.
What the fuck?
All right, like
Appraise on the
get it together.
room. Holy fuck.
The fireplace is a fireplace, and it exists in this room.
Oh, actually, that does bring up a good point. Is there anything that looks burnt like it was just recently thrown into the fiber?
Not recently, but you do see small scraps of ashes and little, like, burnt black bits of what appears to be some sort of thin, papery stuff. Or at least it was at one point.
Yeah. Oh, I rolled 2 nat ones in a row. Put out the fire. I'm gonna see if I can't salvage anything in it.
Oh, it's already out. There's nothing on. There's no fire going on right now.
Yeah, scramble through it then.
Scrambling through it, mostly just small ashes, but majority of the ashes you see are also these thin, papery, like, residues left over.
Paper. Does it seem like normal paper, or does it seem
No,
like
actually,
different?
it's recognizable. Some paper, the paper unique to Firefall tends to be fire resistant, no surprise, as most of the
Yeah.
materials you guys use are fire resistant, thus leaving behind large, papery-like substances, much like you see in the fireplace here. Although that seems nothing out of the ordinary for an office.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. There's definitely something I was supposed to say, but I can't think of anything, and 2 nat ones isn't gonna save me.
I'm not the kind not the kind of DM who would screw you over on that, but
I know.
you would, you'll just have to ask me and see if you're looking for something, and I'll give you details of whatever it is, relevant or not.
I'm trying to think because there's usually is there a rug in the room?
Yes, absolutely.
Fuck it. See if there's a trapdoor under it. Might just be a,
Absolutely nothing.
yeah. I really can't think of anything. Oh, just to say my paranoia is the shadows are normal, right? No shadow. Kind of like what happened to the Okamis, right? No one's watching me probably.
No, the room is well lit.
Oh, that's good. Wait, from what? The not the fireplace. Obviously, is there like torches
Torches
or
on
is
the
it
wall,
just?
yes. They became
Okay,
brighter when you were inside.
that's right. That's right. It's really weird, but chug that one down to magic. I'm really having trouble thinking of anywhere else to kind of pick through right now. I guess I'll head out. I feel like there's more I should look for, but I also don't want to stay here too long because it's not improbable he'll come back. Hop back up in the air vent.
Popping back into the air vent, you see that back moving towards the dining hall again. There's once again it's very dimly lit as there's nobody in the dining hall at the moment.
Okay, quietly get to the other side again. Go hop down, hop into the other vent.
All right,
I
well,
try to.
make a dex check for me then, please. It will be or rather, not sorry, not a dex check, sorry, climb, since that's what you're going to be doing.
I've been rolling really good today. Holy.
Well, holding onto the ledge, you see that you're having a little bit of trouble, kind of holding on while, as you feel yourself slipping a little bit, with the vent being screwed back on as you are trying to basically replace everything as you saw it originally. Make another one while you're doing this because it's kind of straining and stressful.
One upped.
And Mir can feel her fingers slipping a little bit more as as the vent is loosening somewhat, but still needs to make a little bit of progress as her arms are beginning to tire, as this is the second time she's doing it in a short time. Make one more, please.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, and there is no problem as Mir finally grabs a hold of the ledge, pulling herself or trying to pull herself in as she scrambles back in, finally closing up the vent behind her. And crawling on the way back, she notices a difference in the vent. It looks like someone had messed with the vent as she was gone, and the kitchen ones are closed, with a special vent in front of them now, looking like it's being redirected. As you see, poking or looking through that vent, the rest of the other stuff. You see Jimbo's helping open up a very large vent in the center of the ceiling in the kitchen area.
Who's he opening up for?
You see one of the directors, one of the main bigger directors, helping to open up a big central square vent that leads outside. It looks like.
Kind of listening to see if there's a reason or if it's just for airflow.
Oh, you see the kitchen is actually a lot more busy than it was before. Significantly more supplies being moved in. So it looks like it's about time for like a large meal. Soon, rather, at least.
Let's see where it redirects me to.
The only ones that are there is that it takes you to the main dining hall. Across the main dining hall, you can see that there are another series of events on the other side.
Yeah, I gotta go to that one. Alright, try again. Hop out and try the ones across the room.
All right. Well, hopping down and unscrewing it, you see that the vents are a little bit off of the ground, but the wall seems to be scalable for the most part.
Okay.
And this time the torches don't seem to be brightening up as you are in the dining hall. You see some familiar figures once again,
Yep.
but this time they all surround Mir, standing and watching her.
Oh, they're standing now. Fuck.
But nonetheless observing quietly.
Well, do you have something to say?
Still silence.
You may speak.
You see two of them look at each other and then look back before the rest of them disappear now. Again.
Definitely waiting for me to say something specific. I really am curious what I need to say. They're looking for something very specific.
Yeah.
Give a little sigh and then continue making my way to the other vent. God, I definitely gotta say something. I gotta figure out what to say. I don't. I think it's a very specific phrase, like a command, maybe,
Yeah, it seems like it
or
would be.
yeah.
Well, Mir climbs up to one of the vents that's seemingly loose already as she unscrews it. This one's a lot easier to manage. The holes in the wall are a lot simpler. As she gets it off the wall before this exits into uh, some more servants' quarters. As you see, there's actually no one in the room at the time. At this time,
Good, hop down.
popping down and out the door, no one seems to pay you any mind.
Go link back up with Arius and inform him of everything that I saw and heard.
And upon doing so, you see that they're all still in the kitchen. Around. It's been a few hours now, by the way. So, with Arius and Mir kind of messing around there.
Okay, probably. Is it starting to get kinda late to where we can start beginning the Kiana mission?
It's not that late yet. You got about 5 hours left until it's actually like back to the time when you had gone to
Okay.
speak with them.
Well, being that we still don't know what's in storage crates, from the fact that a lot of the income is from the Black Phoenix, as we know, it's going to be difficult to figure out what exactly they're doing without seeing what's in them, but I don't think we have the ability to do that quite yet. Also, I wonder if Taya was either of our mothers.
Looks
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's definitely possible, but if she was one of our mothers, then where'd you get your powers? Unless they just come straight from the void itself.
Possible too, but I think we have different mothers, yes?
I think so.
I think we're half, which means that very well could be yours or mine, and then we still are missing one, which is weird to think about.
well,
It is indeed.
according to that, Ryoshi was never with anybody else.
Yeah.
He had 3 kids. The 2 youngest died. One died a year before the second one, or the second one died a year before the third kid. His first son died, and his second daughter died, the day that his wife also died.
I still think he's just. I mean, it's entirely possible that those children did exist and something that we don't know about happened, but I still think that it's us. He just changed the names that way. it would make more sense than just saying they died.
Mhm.
But I'll leave out the possibility. I've got nothing else right now other than trying to get back to the Okamis and helping out around until it's time to meet Kiana. Honestly, I just can't think of. Because we can't get into the irises. Not. We don't really have anyone to
Seems
help
like it's
us
a
do that. We'd have to get into one of those crates, but I
guarded.
don't think we really. I don't want to try to get into a crate until I know what is in the crate.
Yeah. Seems a little bit dangerous to hop in there if you don't know what's in there.
Yeah, and finding a way to hop in the first place, which we can do from the Nakanas, but we're gonna need Mikasa's help with that.
Hmm.
Um, Other than that, I really want to talk to Kiana about what we learned, and I'm trying to think how much I should tell her. You know, because if I tell her I know that she's hiding stuff from me, I feel like that's starts creating a little bit of tension. I don't know if I want to do that. I might just not. I might just leave the part where we know that she's kind of interacting with Adrian and our father kind of out of the picture. I might just leave that out.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything until we conduct the plan to. Hopefully, you convince Jimbo to gently boost you up.
Hopefully. It's not likely though.
Let's hope. So yeah, proceed to help around until it's time to meet Kiana.
So you're gonna go to the Okami place then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 1 second. Moving back to the Okami area, you see the usual sights as you did during this time as you were working the previous time. Although you see something else out of the ordinary, extremely so, unsettlingly so. Jimbo is already getting help from Mir and Arius, as you
Hmm.
see two people who look just exactly like yourselves there, as they take a look back and see you two, and continue on.
Hmm.
And after their cycle, and you see Jimbo comes back out, you see that the two that were helping them are no longer there, as he
We
motions for
got
you two to come over and help him.
Sounds like we might have more problems, Nathan.
We might have a lot of problems.
Yeah,
Go over and help him.
definitely go help him.
You know, and Jimbo's also in the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds like we have some actual problems in this
There's
city.
a lot of problems coming out. They looked at us. What was their reaction? Did they just kind of look at us and then keep going?
They looked at you two and acknowledged that you two were basically there, and then kept going.
That's a little freaky.
A little bit.
Ask Jimbo as we're walking. Where'd you put them?
He doesn't seem to say anything as he continues just chugging along with the boxes.
Well, I need your help putting us somewhere, if that's okay with you.
Hmm. In his usual response, saying nothing, and he continues. And so,
Awesome.
are you guys helping him out? Basically, helping out for like 5 hours, whatever.
I'm gonna start looking for the other where we
Yeah, the other one's of
are.
us. That's quite concerning.
Yeah.
Well, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary.
Go see if they're in the if other mirrors in the vent.
Kind of just taking a very, keen eye and looking at the vent in particular, you see no movement inside.
I'm a little spooked if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that was a little bit something right there.
I don't know how much I like Jimbo anymore.
I must agree with you on that one. That's just a touch sus, if you ask me.
Spend keep working, but I'm gonna spend the next 5 hours trying to see if I can't figure out, even just talking to people, if anyone has encountered me yet. You know, if the other me had any interaction with these people.
We could also start.
You
I'm
cut
also
out.
oh,
It's okay.
I'm also gonna send
Oh,
this to you guys in your thing.
sure. We could also try, Nathan, and keep an eye on the desk of the guy who we helped to get the tools. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you think they're like a different loop of us? That's actually an interesting
Because
idea.
it could either be the original loop of this day, or just two totally different people disguised as us. Because if we just got rewound, then we might still be
Well,
in the
I
same
still don't
day.
think we were reround. I think there's remember the difference between the fallen territory is already there.
Yeah,
We might have been rewound, but it's weird. It's still different.
yeah.
But
Because
yeah,
the 11th, we didn't visit the Okami house today on the 99th or 98th. Today's 99th. We didn't visit the Okami house on the 99th.
yeah, we did. Remember we came earlier to show Kiana the scythe.
No, on the original world, the 11th world.
Well, a lot of
Yeah,
things
We
are
didn't do
different.
that then, but
A lot of things were different from the original world. A lot of things, to be fair.
that's true.
yeah. But there's a fairly major difference from the previous iteration as well, the whole fallen territory thing. So,
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out, especially the areas that we traffic like that desk
hmm
while working, and again, trying to ask around or just talk to people and see if they.
if they recognize us.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. So you were gonna go talk to people to see if they recognize you?
yeah.
Who?
Some of the specifically some of the. Oh, we could try Kiana. Yeah, I think we go talk to Kiana.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, go to Kiana.
Okay. Well, and she's over there. You can see that she's still messing with tinkering on small parts and stuff like that.
Hey, still at the same pile, I see.
New one.
Mm. Have we random question? We haven't talked since the you we talked about taking apart my scythe, right?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I've been busy.
You don't remember if we talked any time in between?
Don't think so.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Well, good luck. Have fun.
Hmm.
You know, Aries, we are crazy. We do need to keep that in mind.
We do definitely need to keep that in mind.
Check with a couple of the directors and see if this sounds like they've given us orders already.
Yeah.
We might just be crazy. Maybe.
Well, as you go over to the directors, you see the one that you recognize that was giving you orders before in the previous time. He's like, "I've already told you. Just move some parts outside with the others."
Has he told us that
Mm,
today?
he has not
And on top of
Ah,
that,
told us
you
that.
also see that the one that who's you know with the tools that you ended up getting for, already has the tools on his desk.
Hmm.
cool. What do we do next? We went to home.
No. Well, did we? So I thought after we did that, we got you into the vent,
Yep, we need to go
and
to
then
the vent
I
like
left.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The next thing was the vent. We need to go to the vent right now.
The vent is quite important.
All right. Well, the event happened after you guys. Well, after the day, it kind of ended at the shop. So
What did we do?
you guys helped out until it was nighttime.
Yeah. Get to the vent a little earlier than we did last time, though.
All right. Will you be helping out until then?
Yeah, kind of trying to follow, if we can, to a very similar path that we did last time. Maybe even skipping a few steps to see if we can't catch the timeline of the other two, if they're still about.
No. Moving up, you see, as you're kind of helping out in the meantime, as the workshop is beginning to close down, things like that. Jimbo's there on his last trip out. But otherwise, you didn't really see anything different about the vent. It's still crooked and hanging there, ready to be opened. It was just before.
Let's go to Jimbo and try to preemptively get him to take us to the vent and see if we can't convince him to put both of us in there.
And you see, he does so without a whole lot of convincing, as he kind of moves over to towards the vent area, and you see something kind of shiny, just like directly under the vent on the ground, kind of tucked between the rocks.
Look and see what it is.
It's the screwdriver, the special one that was hanging on the shelf.
Hmm.
Pick it up and quickly try to get through. I wonder if the vent's already down.
It's not. It looks like it hasn't been touched. As Jimbo helps you guys up, as the vent cover is quickly unscrewed by Mir, as she's finally become used to this odd-shaped tool she'd used
Yeah.
to unscrew it before,
The jab.
and moving into the vent. And this time, areas in preparation for the throw. Jimbo takes a much more gentle throw this time, as he is thrown up properly to catch the ridge, catch the edge,
Let's go, Jimbo.
kind of squeezing his way in as best as he can before the vent closes behind him.
And the front vent in front of us is still closed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tripping right now. Drugs are a bitch.
I told you not to get too high before this, Nathan.
And thus, the workshop is already closed down by the time you guys kind of get back into the vent. And most of the lights are out except for the ones down the center, as you remember them. Although you see something kind of out of the range of the light itself, something hanging from the ceiling. I'm not quite certain what it is.
Oh, we gotta go investigate it, don't we?
It looks like it.
It's hard to tell with some of the reflections and the lighting at the moment.
Climb down, and I think we're gonna approach this like that thing's about to jump at us. Arius.
Agreed.
You walk at it, I'm gonna cling to the shadows. I mean, I'm gonna be following you, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And listening, as you're moving towards the vents and stuff like that, you can see that, or not he see, sorry, you can hear like almost like drops of water landing on stone, kind of like a
That's
light tap on the stone.
That is a body.
And moving into the room, the lights kind of turn on a little bit more as Mir and Arius get a closer look. And you can see that where the dripping is, just over Kiana's desk, is Kiana herself. As you can see, her arms and other sorts of, all different of her limbs are twisted and contorted in all different shapes and directions, entirely unnatural. She is hanging from the ceiling, from seemingly nothing.
Try to
So,
gently help her down. Try to figure out what's holding her up.
Oh, it's easily out of reach. It's just like you couldn't jump and touch her. She is being held and just in place, in midair, unmoving. As you can see, her hands and stuff like that are bent like sideways, and fingers and stuff are twisted, and other sorts of things. Only thing that you could recognize on her is her lightly red tinted white hair. And now, as the dripping sound is echoing on the floor, the lights begin to dim some more.
Start looking around.
And as you two are looking around, you see some familiar figures in the darkness again.
hmm.
They're standing there entirely upright and just observing from the darkness. But also from the darkness, you can see a slight glint off of the remaining light, silvery sheen in their hands.
All right, Nathan. Sorry, Mirror. Looks like it's time for combat.
Pull out the scythe.
Okay, prepare for combat then.
Time to make these little shits bleed.
Indeed. We are level 7 now, correct? Yes.
Yes.
And I'm sitting over here looking through my feats page when I just have to scroll down a little bit to my DC and abilities. I really like this thing.
You know, we're really close to that.
Yeah, so it would seem.
Turn one, guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I got a new ability. I'm not sure if I want to use it yet, though.
Let me do some math real quick. If I do that, I can get on them really quickly. Question is, do I have
I'd
the
also like to point out while you guys are looking at this that Kiana, the hole down to her office is already open.
Hmm.
It'll have to go there in a second.
Yes, indeed.
That is unlucky, as we call it.
It would appear that way. Hey, uh, I'm gonna set stuff on fire, by the way.
Yep, I
So
figured.
maybe hop it somewhere that's not exactly nearby.
Where do you want me to be?
Ah, it doesn't seem to be my problem.
You're very helpful. Have anyone told you that? Two. Okay, I do have enough. Just want to make sure I had enough. Where's battle plan? I'm gonna be, by the way, using my Void Slash on my Reaping Slash for the range extension.
Okay.
On which side, Nathan? Do you want top or bottom?
I'll take top.
All right, then I will go with bottom. Let's go with this to start.
That is a very good move. Oh God, 12. Thank you. Thank you, Hyrule.
uh, 16. I have what? 22. 22.
Problem is, I'm not gonna be super useful because I don't get flanking bonus.
That's true. But all right. Well,
Wait, these guys might count as favored victims, though.
ooh.
They
They
do
all
seem to
do.
be assassiny. Bleed, boys. It's bleed time. It's a shame I'm not undetected. I could hit them with the unseen blade, too.
I love the name of your abilities, Nathan.
What's wrong? No. Too edgy. Too edgy.
So good. I think this is all I'm going with. Nathan, can you get a beard? Like, can you grow one?
Do you mean, like, physically, or...?
Yes, like, can you physically grow one, like IRL?
Yeah, but it takes me a while, because I have...
Yeah, you know that itchy feeling you get?
Yeah.
Like, when it's, yeah, it has not stopped
Yeah.
for 3 days.
Yeah, just wait another couple days
Ugh,
and it'll go away.
I
Okay.
know.
Can we get
Yeah,
back
let's
to?
go, let's go.
Okay. All right. Mir, is your reaping slash with a modifier on it? You can hit all of them with 2 parts, although the second part you'll be hitting Arius with as well.
Charmer?
And actually, with the first one and the second
63.
one. First one and the second one, that's how big its hitbox is.
You know, should I actually? Yeah.
Go
Should.
for it, go for
I was
it.
gonna say, to be honest, there's a very high chance that they have less than you do.
Hopefully, yes.
Where's my
Otherwise,
accuracy?
we're having a bad day.
I keep forgetting what my accuracy is. It's R1d20 plus 12. Part 1, part 2. Is that a crit for 2? No, because that's, yeah, never
No.
mind.
It's 17, yeah.
You may apply both parts.
Okay, I assume no sneak attack.
No. No
How do
sneak attack.
I do have a question. So, they would, I assume, obviously, I don't actually know where is it. I want to read it. So, they are using light armor, I assume, right? Or magic armor?
It seems like they're very lightly armored, yes.
Okay, so the 10%, how would I apply that? Because my passive to my weapon is it does 10% to light users.
Yes, just basically roll your normal stuff, and we'll change the we'll
Okay.
add the multiplier as bonus damage. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
So you just roll it normally, and then just tell me that you have the bonus damage, or I'll tell you obviously if it's favorite victim, and then you can you'll know.
612.
Okay. And
And
you
then
have 10%, so for you that'll be, what is it? Just an extra 1 damage on that one, not 1 damage on the second one as well.
yeah, not too much. It's better when I
Okay.
sneak attack.
Yes.
Well, Mare is dashing forward as the rest of them are being caught off guard on the swift attack, as they step back a little bit, straight into Mir's sweeping scythe swing. As Arius also takes the brunt of it, but not entirely intentionally.
There we
And
go.
you see that it clearly cuts through their robes, and you can see that they're clearly bleeding, and some of them are injured, to be certain. But they don't seem to make any noise. They don't grunt in pain or anything.
Ah, they might. I'm doing the math. They might be mute, which means my orders were really confusing.
They start
Fuck.
talking.
Yeah, looks at each other. Yo,
That's kind of rude.
They all have an attack right now against Mir.
ah,
You moved after all.
lovely. How lovely.
How lovely.
Okay, I actually dodged. Mine's 24, by the way, so I dodged 1, 2, 3 of them.
Yes, you dodge 3 of them. And no wait, you're being threatened right now. So they're getting flanking from
Oh.
all
In that
sides,
case, in that case, I got hit by every one of them, right?
except for the bottom one. Except for the not except for the 22.
Hey, good job.
And one of them
I
was
almost dodged after.
one of them was a crit confirm as well. So I'm gonna roll them all together.
All right. Well, good
I
night.
think I'm about to get one shot.
Well, good night. Listen, it was really nice knowing you, but
Been not a comrade.
it's been a real honor.
This
That
is
doesn't kill me.
this is in void damage.
That kills me.
All right. Well, sleep tight, my sweet prince. S.
This is you get 53 HP damage. That's how much you get.
Hey, Nathan, how much HP did you have again?
I have 8 now.
As you see,
Hey,
they
that's
all
pretty good.
immediately
I'm alive.
throw a dagger looking exactly like the one that you saw hanging in Kiana's basement, as they all impale Mir from many different sides at once.
Except one dude.
Absolutely sticking into her, as she can feel the pain as all the knives are sticking from all different sides, blowing straight past Arius.
I'm gonna need you to not light me on fire. By the way,
Hey,
I have
about
8
that.
Arius,
friendo.
you may create flames.
Great. Blast shields up. Plus 21 HP.
Okay,
I can do that if you'd like.
got it already.
I should
got it.
move, shouldn't I?
Oh, well, if they hit me like that, yes. Yes, you should.
Arius, you make a melee attack.
Great. I guess we just go for it. Ah, that is the wrong roll. Yes. Let's roll accuracy first. I'm just gonna swipe at the only guy that's in range for me down here. I'll go and swipe at this guy. Actually, oh, hang on. I swipe at this guy here.
Yeah, help me obliterate the black line. Because if we kill them, I can also position behind you.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and swipe at this guy.
Okay, roll accuracy.
Plus, the first one is going to be an 8 accuracy, and the second one 11, I believe. No, actually, I wouldn't put it. It's 8 and 8, but we'll go with 8. And then the second one is 15.
Okay. You can roll damage for both.
All right. Then we'll go with this. Oh yeah, that number doesn't change. It's 16 damage.
Well, Ares brings his blade down, absolutely chopping one man in half. As you see, he
Yeah.
completely crumples to the ground.
Oh, they squishy as fuck. Yo, man,
Yeah.
this might be really good for me in a second then.
The real problem, Nathan, is you apparently have 8 HP.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Just saying, not much is gonna be good for you,
Well,
especially since our next tick is 7 away.
yeah, I'm hoping they don't have another attack, or if they do, please.
Well,
Yeah.
they are going to move and attack before Ares' next action.
Ah, that's good.
And yes, you provoke an attack of opportunity from 3 of those. These
Right.
3.
Yay!
Kill them all.
1, a 2, a 3, and one of those is a crit.
Yep.
So I just gotta roll it again to confirm it. Yes. Okay. Right. It is a crit. Yeah. 1920. Confirm. Nope.
Okay, you can roll crit damage and roll damage for the other 2.
Yeah, I'd say that crit.
Crit
Oh wait, hold on.
damage.
You're only able to make 1 fucking attack of opportunity per turn. What the fuck am I talking about?
Just crit.
Pick one to hit. I'll give you the crit, but just pick which one you want to hit. It's this one, or this one. So you want to hit the one that's
So either 1, 2, or 3.
exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Hit this
Alright,
one
then
so
I'll
I
go with
can
this one.
leave. Yeah, so I can leave.
I'm gonna hit that one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been so long since
Roll
I've
damage.
crit that I don't actually know what my crit damage is. It'll be
What's your base damage?
1d10 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1.
Okay. And what's your crit multiplier?
It's times 2, so it'll be 2d10 plus
All that.
8, 4, 2, or just 4, 2, 1 still.
No, double those.
Nice. 4 or plus 8 plus 4 plus 2.
And same thing at the demonstration. Ares drives his blade forward, impaling one man entirely and spearing him through as he immediately just stops moving. Mira, on the other hand, is being attacked by 4.
It has been an honor.
One guy crit failed.
God.
Hey, 2 guy crit failed. Nathan, you might survive this if they throw
I-
their dagger straight into their friends' heads.
That is against Mir. That is the one hit that actually hit.
Ah. I am dead.
Good
Mir is
night.
immediately knocked out, bleeding onto the ground as he drives his blade straight into her back. The same force as the dagger's already sticking out of her, simply just adding to the pile.
Alright, good luck 1v9.
Alright, so you're unconscious, Nathan. Do you know what that means?
It's time for you to 1v9, right? That's what that means?
Nathan, it means that your unconscious body is about to be on fire.
Right? I think if I get to negative, what was it negative 10, I die, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And fire hurts me.
Not only does it hurt you, Nathan, but apparently I've been doing my passive fire damage wrong this entire time. Since I have the maximized feat, it's supposed to always be 18 damage.
Ah,
Not a nice little like 1d6 plus 11 or whatever
ah.
it was last time. So
Well,
yes, one tick will
Arius, you
kill
have
you.
another attack you can make.
Wonderful. I have stab,
Yes,
so I'll be going this way.
you cannot stab both. It only stops at the first target. Yours isn't a special piercing. At least not with that one.
That's unlucky. I'll stab this man.
Okay, go for it.
I just realized you don't have a choice, do you? They're gonna hit you with blast shield, and I'm gonna blow up.
Yeah, that is exactly the problem. I have to try and roll a super low move.
Go ahead and roll damage.
The stab damage, I actually believe is just normal damage. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Good. It's been so long since I used stab.
And driving the blade through another man, but this time he doesn't seem to go down from this strike. But it certainly almost entirely tears off one of his limbs, as you see he's bleeding profusely on the ground, but still seemingly unfazed. Okay, well, that's the remainder of the actions this time around. Let's go move into turn 2 now. Mir's still bleeding out.
Yeah, that's not gonna change, by the way. I really hate to say that, but it's not.
Yeah.
Alright. I have to move. I have to change stances. I have to attack. And I probably gotta create flames. Andy, is this like the whole area that we have to fight in right here?
Yes, you guys are indoors. Unless you also want me to put a million desks in the way.
No, because that's the problem I'm having. If I explode into fire, there's a million desks in here.
Yes, the fire will go on top of the desks and under the desks and set on fire whatever the fuck's on the desks if they're flammable, which is probably
And the
nothing.
inside of the desk.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
Also, technically, Kiana is also within range of your blast. She's above. She's not
How many feet?
like 15.
15 feet. Wow. That is directly at the edge, huh? Alright, well, I really don't have much choice here. We'll go with this. Oh. Oh! Nathan, you may live again. Unless, they just, like, finish you right here.
That is entirely possible. They seem very dead set on me, as it turns out.
As it turns out, they do. So we'll go a stance change, create flames. That's 4, 6, 10. I have 12 more. Melee, melee. Okay. Now I gotta think about the order I want here. Because if I move away and they don't follow me. No, actually, you know what? Actually, that's not a good idea. Because they do void damage, and void damage just ignores armor's types, right? So it'll just directly hit my health.
No, it shreds armor and magic resistance. It's the same damage.
Okay. Wunderbar. Yeah, I'm I'm gonna have to go at least right here. And that's kind of a problem. Hey Andy, can I ask you a question?
Hmm.
Real quick, actually. When Nathan went down, did they seem to look at me, or did they just like not give a shit?
Oh, they're still staring down at Mir.
Oh boy.
One of them is eyeing you, though.
Is it by chance this guy?
No,
Maybe it's this guy.
it's this one.
This one. Tell him his mother was a whore for me. Anyways,
Put in
keep
your
getting through
numbers.
this. I'm working on it. Yeah. Oh, I can't do it like that.
Are you having problems?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to play this out. Because I've only got 2 attacks this turn, but I need a. Yeah. I need to do a couple things. Alright, I'm just gonna go with this. Might have taken long enough. Move. Oh, I don't have my move in there. Just put it at. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, I didn't see it. Great. Thank you.
Okay. Ares, change your stance. Alright. This one in particular is doing something odd. Pulls something out of his pockets,
Which
like
one?
this one.
Okay.
He grabs something out of his pockets, looks like a very small sort of marble. He rolls it down by your feet. Oh boy.
Oh boy, it appears to
And
have
it
hit
crit.
me.
This can only get better.
It appears to have hit me.
As you see, it explodes in a small little, like, sheen of blue light, as Arius can feel himself weakening significantly.
Yay, debuff sphere.
Arius, you may make a melee attack.
Yay, what penalties do I have?
None that you notice. Okay, and hit the first guy.
It will be a double chop, so I still gotta. Oh, that second one, Andy. Appears as if it's the same. So,
Pull your damage.
yes.
Alright. And Arius brings the blade down on the one just in front of him. As you can see that the thin red, or at least the glowing bit on his blade, on Arius's blade, has dimmed significantly since the little marble has blown up.
Fuck.
As you can see, the blade still chops through the man just fine with its heft, absolutely cutting him down as he did with another.
Alright, I guess it's fine.
Now they're going to be making attacks. Also, this is your debuff.
I don't see anything.
Your magic armor is gone. All of it.
Ah. Really quick, the +1 I'm getting here, I'm pretty sure that was from what's it called? My Regalia of Destruction, but that's a +3 now.
Yes,
So I just got to remember that,
that's fine.
and I'm going to be changing my
The three
Double check
making
real quick.
attacks against you. Oh boy. Okay, let's crit confirm on that.
woohoo.
What's your health, by the way?
151.
Oh, thank God. That would have one-shot
No,
me.
your blast shield is also just gone.
Yes, everything's on fire, Nathan, including
is-
you.
No,
That is...
no,
No, it's
your
gone.
blast shield is gone, as in it's gone.
Thank God.
Ah.
That's actually a good thing.
It faded
Huh.
away.
Yeah, that's not a good thing, Nathan.
For my possibility of surviving, it definitely is.
And you see that
Let's
a
go
few
with
knives
that.
absolutely pierce Arius, annihilating his armor in the meantime and striking him directly in the gut, the back and the arm, different locations.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Arius, you have another melee you can make against any target.
Yeah, so I think we go with they don't have flanking on me anymore.
No,
So
not at the moment.
let's go with reach any of these guys. Let's go with this guy.
Okay.
He's the closest one to getting flanking on me.
Roll damage.
+3 now. Ooh. Let's go get
And
him.
Arius on this one, landing a direct hit in the center mass of this man, impaling him just like he did with the others, picking him up and flinging him off of his blade as he crumples to the ground.
This is what you call a carry.
Now the rest of them, this one at least, or these two are shifting about through the darkness now, peering out from in front of and behind Arius. Arius, you may
Which one of them gets an attack of opportunity against him?
nothing, none of them.
What?
You didn't see them walk.
They blinked.
And
Hey,
with
Nathan,
that,
I've
they're
got a problem.
also getting another attack at them right now.
Hey, Nathan, I've got a problem.
What would that be?
Whoops.
My next move is supposed to be on this turn tick, and it's a move.
Did he just double crit?
Yes.
I hope not. I hope an 18's not a crit.
Yeah, that's
Well, he just...
2 crits.
Nathan, here's what I'm saying, boy.
It's been an
Yeah.
honor.
Listen, dab on the haters. I'm alive. I'm alive.
What's your HP?
16.
Although,
currently.
upon Ares being struck this time, he begins to feel a little bit dizzy.
Stop it with the fucking debuffs.
Please
you
make a
douchebags.
fortitude save.
They're trying to knock you out, I think.
My highest modifier.
Make 2, sorry. You got stabbed twice.
Highest modifier.
As
Save.
Arius is still collecting himself, he holds his ground nonetheless. Arius, you may create flames.
I
You
believe my
little
move was
shit.
next, by the
Oh
way.
yeah, move and then you can create flames if you'd like.
You take a 5 foot step away from me, right, Brian?
You know what? Actually, hang on. I gotta really quick look at the actual thing for this create flame. See how it actually hits. Holy shit! What is wrong with these? Oh my god. Okay. So that's what it looks like, huh? One, two. Andy, can I ask you a question real quick?
Hmm.
If I were to move to right here, all right. So say I'm right here. Would my create flames hit uh, this? Where is this box? It should be this one. Would it hit like this, or would it be a little bit wider?
What for your chop? Like double chop?
No, for my create flames, the flame wave.
It'd be bigger.
How much bigger? Hmm.
Oh, something. Oh, sorry, that's not correct. But you get what I'm
I
trying to
don't.
get at here.
I don't like
'Cause I'm
these.
pretty sure it was only supposed to be like my reach is 10 foot, right? But it's supposed to be like 1 unit beyond that, so it'd be 15. And I threaten currently. I threaten this, I believe it is.
I'm still in
You
that
threaten
maw.
more than that, but yeah, you. But no, more or less, yeah. This is why it would be like this because it reaches out to here. That's why, because it's supposed to extend it,
Okay.
and so extending
I
your
mean, if you
range would.
aim it in the opposite direction, though, right? Like if you aim it
Because if I
this
aim it like,
way, you'd only hit him, which I mean might be worth it.
yeah, if I do it like that, it's fine. Because I'm pretty sure it doesn't do none of this business. It should literally just set like, hang on, I have to snap to corner.
You might just have to settle for blasting just the one guy in front of you, honestly.
Yeah, it should be something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
You'll.
Or
I mean, mirror will
are
be
you
out of your
saying
range. Mirror will
it's
be out of the range, but so will the other guy.
you saying it's like this, right?
More or less, yeah. It extends the
Okay.
range a little bit, yeah.
All right. Well, then I'll do this. Oh. Well, hang on. If I did the exact opposite, if I went here and then casted it this way.
No, yeah, you can't cast it. Like, pick a fucking proper direction. Don't just say this arbitrarily.
All right, well,
Diagonally or laterally, please. Don't overcomplicate it.
let me do this hit.
No.
What if I stood on top of or above Nathan? Does
Just
that allow? Would you allow me to stand above him?
no, you idiot.
Why? She's
Brian, don't
crumpled on the
argue.
floor.
Brian, don't argue with me on this. Just do it properly.
I want to save her. Fuck. Alright, I'll go here and then cast it this direction. Alright. Damn. Flame Wave is literally just a normal magic deck.
Well, as Arius swings his blade out, striking the man directly in front of him, he expects a flame wave to come blasting out of his blade, but nothing happens. Again.
These guys are kind of dicks. They're stopping me magic.
Well, roll the damage at least for the guy you hit in front of you.
Alright. Oh, 1d10 plus.
Well, and swiping across him, you chop off a leg almost entirely, as you see he's barely holding his balance, still standing, as you pull your blade out from his side, as he still stands there barely. Okay. It's turn 3.
Oh, let's go. Ah. this point, I only have a bab of what? Let's save this. Oh, I can't make a third attack, can I? Damn.
No.
All right, let's go for this.
You low rolled, you lucky son of a bitch.
I know.
Well, Ares, you may make an attack.
Yes, I'll be putting this man out of his misery. I hope.
Wait, he's almost dead though, right? Just hit the other one.
That's the problem. He's almost dead.
Yeah, isn't he gonna burn out?
No, he's not got fire on him at all. They
Uh,
put all my fire out, Nathan.
okay, yeah, never mind. Stab him.
Nathan, I can't burn them in holy fire. They're sinners of the highest order.
My kind of people.
Hey.
Roll your damage.
Hang on, that has to be a double chop then. If I wanted to make 2 attacks, so I have to roll accuracy again. Then there's damage
Well,
with the
bringing
updated.
bringing up the blade back. Well, you or Arius swings through, finishing the job, chopping the remaining limbs off as the top half of the man goes flying across the room and landing on some unfortunate man's desk. This one's making an attack against you.
Ah, before I get to stance change?
Yeah, before you get a stance change.
He low rolled 2. He low rolled 2. We were trying to clutch it out. How much health? How much health?
How much health? How much health?
As you see,
Oh.
although this blade seems to stick in a little bit differently and a little bit more painfully. As you see, that blood begins flowing from it very rapidly. You can make your stance change.
Okay, great.
You're bleeding out though.
And you're all...
Yeah, this is the problem. Preservation, so I was trying to get the damage reduction from preservation here.
How much HP do you have?
You may make an attack
2.
against the target. Damage reduction doesn't apply to status effects like bleed.
I know, I was hoping for the actual stab to get the reduction.
Well, you're able to make an attack before he gets one more. So,
So...
It better land and...
Oh!
Oh, you crit!
No!
No! Wait, that might work, that might work, that might work. We don't know if they're
no crit
dodging.
confirm,
No, can confirm, yeah.
but you can roll damage.
Correct? Correct.
Oh, and Arius this time finishing the job all wobbly and from being weak and stabbed in all different locations and bleeding from multiple orifices, drives his blade one final time through this man as he places his hand on the blade before going limp as well. But Arius can still feel the knife sticking out of his side as his blood is rapidly flowing out, almost as if it were designed for such a thing.
Hey, can I make a heal check real quick?
You may.
Awesome.
I swear to God, if you hit this...
Well, listen, Nathan. My heal check ain't great.
What is it?
It's a 3.
Yeah,
Alright. Oh, okay, that's not
That's-
bad, though.
That's not
That's
bad.
not
I
bad.
don't know if it's enough.
As
Might not
Arius
be.
tries his best to keep the blood in as much as he can't do so with the knife still sticking out of him, almost like the holes in it were meant for blooding. As Arius
Yeah.
falls back over onto the ground on his back, as the ceiling begins to go blurry, as he lays next to Mir and the remaining bodies still in the room, observing Kiana above, still hanging, as she finally falls and crumples to the ground as well in a broken mess of twisted limbs and contorted body parts. The last thing Arius hears is her shifting around just a little bit before it all goes dark.
I made the play.
You did. I'm not gonna lie, you rolled that 19. I looked at
I
my
was so excited.
no. I looked at my bleed check. I immediately was like, oh fuck. Mine's
With your
45.
bleed. Oh
25.
no.
I was like, oh no.
I should have taken the dagger out first and then made the heal check. Although I don't know if I had time before the next fucking tick.
Probably not, to be fair.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
.jpg.
And Arius and Mir awaken once more. Find Adrian once again laying on his bed, absolutely knocked out, bottle in hand. Well, one thing still rests in Arius' mind as he awakens. Kiana was up there still alive. In some horrid mess, and someone had made her that way. Oh, preferably I'd like to stop it here.
Yeah. I'm alright with that. That 1v9 carry is a little bit taxing.
In my defense, I'm an assassin. I just got fucking.
Assassinated, yes.
Yeah.
Hey man, you didn't get bled like a pig, alright?
Well, it's not the first time you got bled like a pig.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, what in the world is happening? Did you guys look over the little chat that they had? I know
Yeah.
the text is a little. The format wasn't like that normally. It was just.
I'm still making my notes. Give me a sec.
So, what did you actually get from that little chat? I'm curious.
One thing I didn't notice, but after rereading it, is just like the first little blurb of that. Because at first when I heard it, I thought when he said you can't keep blaming them for Taya's death, you know, accidents do happen even if it doesn't seem like it. I thought he was referring to us, and he still might be, but Ryoshi immediately kind of turned it on to the Black Phoenix, which I think we killed them because the Black Phoenix, or killed her because we did something for the Black Phoenix. Like, it wasn't an accident, if you know what I mean.
You could also just
So-
ask what happened. If you find a way.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little concerned about just going up and talking to him right now until I figure out what to do about these people following us, because I think they're kind of following me. I don't know. They've found me both times as if they were looking for me, and I don't know how long they're around me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they found you, but I guess they didn't. Reason they didn't attack the first time was they didn't find me as well, if
That
anything.
I don't know, but if you look at it, their demeanor changes like as if they know my last response. Like they started off kneeling.
Hmm.
The next time they were standing, confused at what I was getting at. The next time they were just ready to fight,
Yeah,
as if like there's a progression from each one. Like they're realizing I'm not on their side, as if I don't know. You know what I mean?
it's definitely possible.
I think the Black Phoenix is now well aware that we are no longer theirs. So I don't think we have that angle to play anymore.
Well, that means you'll have to find something that you can to convince them otherwise, right? But can't be that simple, or maybe it is. What do you have in mind?
I have literally nothing.
What is
I
something that
mean,
would that would make them think that you're on their side without
the only thing
telling
I
them a
could think
thing?
of, is what's that? The black cloth that Nathan had, or that Mir was born with, or was found with. Because Adrian kept that, and that is a symbol of the Black Phoenix, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
I
So
think the
maybe
thing
if you
that
had that out with you, then maybe they'd think, hey,
no, because I
she's
didn't have
on
it the
our
first
side.
time.
Yeah,
I think it's memories. I
What?
think
How do
me
you
not knowing.
well, how do you convince them that that to make them think that you remember something that you don't actually?
I have to be a really fucking good liar, or I need to remember it.
Or you need to just say something that'll convince them of something, right? It might
Yes,
not necessarily need to be you give them something intricate.
I might just need to give them an order that seems. Because that's the thing. The reason I think they attacked us in the end is because, like, the first time I didn't say anything. They might have just assumed I had nothing for them. Like,
yeah.
if you think about it, if they're just there and I don't say anything, they might just be like, oh, okay, nothing. The second time, I clearly just said something that was wrong. They're mutes. I said, speak up, and yeah.
Maybe just like, they might not be mutes, maybe it's just reports.
No, because even when we stabbed them, they didn't make a sound.
That's true.
So I just don't think they're capable of making noise.
You guys get a
At
level
least
today, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, whoops! I forgot to factor in something else.
I think that's what they do. I think they're showing up to test memory to see if I remember that I'm on their side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they're aware of kind of what's happening, but they don't know what I know, and that's what they're testing.
Okay.
I wonder if they're gonna try to come like if so even separated each time they've come up to me. I wonder if there's a chance they ever come up to you too. Because I don't think the prioritization in the fight was because like I was more important than you. I think it's because they knew how we fought and they knew I was the squishy. Because they very clearly fought. They fought us really well. As if like they knew how we fought.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that also explains how they can hold someone as powerful as the Nakanos in check, right? If Ryoshi
Yep.
can't, their gift was magical fire. They're immune to it. They can take on any types of fire, and they can use that power. But you take that away from them, what do they have left?
Nothing.
Swords.
So how do you
Yep.
keep someone like that in check, right? Something that just happened to Arius is something that could happen to Ryoshi as well and the rest of his family, which could be very, very bad for him. So that gives the blackmailing a little bit of credit. Quote unquote blackmailing You can see that Ryoshi was very clearly opposed to them. But he's doing it for something.
I still am not. I still don't know if he's is or is not part of the Black Phoenix. He might very well not be, but I still, based off of like the last.
I mean, what did you get out of the conversation that they had?
Well,
That
look,
they're trying
clearly,
to hide us from
yeah,
them.
because we're important to them. They had us at one point, which explains a lot of why we're partially insane. Why people. Again, I still. I feel like that almost confirms our theory that we were a part of the Black Phoenix at one point, but probably because we were mentally messed up, which I guess we still are. But
Well, looks
I'm
like.
still.
I mean, Adrian or Ryoshi. What did you? I mean, what did you get specifically from Ryoshi? What did you understand from what he said? What he said?
Well, he clearly still cares about us. At least that's what he's telling Adrian, and I'm inclined to believe it. But they wanted to get us out of Firefall, which they did succeed in the 11th. If what it sounds like is obviously we killed Adrian and got expelled from it, although that's not how we remember it.
You heard him say the famous line. You heard him say the signature line.
I'm in it for the long game.
The end game.
He's going for the long con.
But a couple things probably still don't add up with you. Still, does it? The copies of you.
Yeah, that's something we do need to.
We'd address that.
Well, specifically look through what Adrian and Ryoshi said here. There was one thing. Let's see. He said the other four will take care of something, filling holes in the story.
Oh yeah, that is definitely the.
Yeah, that's the
fucking goose chase.
that's the ones who gave us the clap down on the beach, I
Yes.
believe.
But filling holes in the story.
Yeah, probably trying to get us acquainted of where we play into everything is what this is supposed to do.
Or maybe you were supposed to do something, but they took care of it instead.
That's true.
Possible.
Which means
That's
they're trying
actually-
to help you with something, but why?
Yeah.
Why are they covering? Here's what it says.
Say we
Whatever
won't notice a thing. I'm kind of curious what we're not supposed to notice because I kind of want to notice it.
I'll just read the line for it. From what Kiana's told me, their reality is a bit bent out of shape. The other four have been filling in the holes in the story. Whatever they were supposed to do, she says the four will take care of it so that they won't notice a thing.
Yeah, they're trying to hide something from us too. Everyone's been trying to hide things from us though. I don't like that.
They could
I want
also
to
mean
know.
the Black Phoenix.
It's true.
That's true. They could be trying to actually just hide us from the Black Phoenix, which might be what those copies are of us. But I want to investigate that first before I know that. I need to know how that works. I don't like copies of us walking around.
Oh, they were.
You know, it makes sense. It makes sense though. The four could have the ability to change their appearance, which explains Jimbo and explains the other copies of us. That's four actually. The two Jimbos.
Yeah,
and
two
the all
Jimbos
copies.
and then us. That's four of
Yep.
them.
Very possible.
Very. Apparently they have a terrifying disguise.
So what's the next
Stats.
plan then? What can you even do now? What can you do?
That's what I'm trying to think of right now.
And one thing that looks like you guys pointed out in the very beginning was it didn't end with Drake this time, and it didn't end with Drake again.
Which is kind of concerning.
A bit.
Because we never beat him.
Nah.
I'm trying to think. We need to, like, obviously we need to investigate the clones and the Jimbo thing. I'm trying to think of how to go about that. Again, I still don't like the fact that they're not telling us. I don't. There's probably a reason, but I don't have to like it.
Yeah,
I feel like they're
definitely
hiding
don't
a
like
lot.
it.
They're hiding a lot of shit from us, which makes me not want to ask them questions. If you know what I mean, because
Yeah, if
I'm
they're
not scared.
hiding it, then
Yeah, I'm scared they're not going to give me the like true answers.
exactly.
None of them seem to be for hostile intent toward you, though. None of them.
No, but
But that
still
doesn't mean
not
they won't
telling.
try to deceive us.
That's
Yeah.
true.
They could be
Even-
trying to deceive us for what they perceive as our own good, but that doesn't necessarily make it our own good. It's for us to decide.
Yeah.
Well, even Adrian seems to be in on it, and he's adamant about you guys and your well-being for the most part. He tends to give you a lot of freedom.
All the freedom, none of the answers, though.
Even his life he gave for it. Whether or not you knew anything, he didn't care whether or not you knew
And-
anything.
We clearly are the final boss against the Black Phoenix. He literally said we're going to take down the Black Phoenix at one point. What was the exact words?
And that's what they wanted you to do. At least that's what they hope. By sending you
Yep,
away,
one day
that
they will
maybe
know it all and bring the Black Phoenix to their knees. Yep. Oh, that's the goal, but I would like answers.
But now there's so many fucking angles to this.
I know, and the thing is, getting answers on our own isn't really working because the more things we get is just the more questions, and a lot of the new questions we get without getting the old answers. Because everything, like Kiana is hiding so much from us now that I'm looking at it. Because from the fact that Kiana told Adrian that just that little line from what Kiana's told me, the reality is a bit bent out of shape. She's fully aware of what's happening. So I'm really curious what else she's hiding from us. I think Kiana knows the story.
How are you gonna get it out of her?
Yeah.
These times are extremely unfortunate in circumstances. You can't exactly grab her out of her home, and you can't, especially with all the people there. And it's hard to question her, considering every time you've tried to find her, at least this time, at least she was already fucking dead, or almost dead, rather.
Yep. I really don't know if we even should set up another meeting with her, to be honest, Brian.
I mean, I feel like this time the meeting with her might have actually led them
Endangered
to
her.
her as well.
Exactly. And to be honest, what we're getting out of the meetings is the ability to, like, get her and Mikasa to do things from us. But I'm not even sure. I know what the things we need to figure out are what in those large crates, because those are definitely pertaining to the Black Phoenix, which
Mm-hmm.
will help us. We need to investigate the clones in Jimbo, which is probably
The four, yeah.
But we don't know that for sure, so I would like to confirm that instead of just assuming and then getting, fucked for it.
Exactly.
But in terms of like where to look, I'm a little at a loss right now because I don't trust Kiana or Adrian to give us the true answers.
Yeah, the only person who might would be Ryoshi, but we can't meet with him.
Yes,
It's complicated.
and I'm really wondering. There's a part of me, if I'm being honest, that wants to try to provoke an encounter with the black cloaked individuals. But
Again?
we start the fight. Like, they've been coming after me because I've been isolated and you haven't been in an area of isolated. What if we isolate you and then I sneak up on them and we start the fight where I'm from?
Well,
I'm
that's
in-
another problem. If I'm isolated, Nathan, so are you.
I know. We'd have to find a way. My stealth probably isn't good enough. But
That's-
that might be an angle to try. Wait, what did I get? Wait, hold on. Let me see what I got level 8. I can't remember off the top of my head what I get level 8. Let's see if I get something that might actually help.
You get 8 net right now. You guys get level 8 right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me see if that actually.
Your XP's been put in. You guys should have 32,500 now.
Yeah, I got isolate. My sneak attack went up. I got the magical darkness now, by the way, in isolation, which is super nice. But I don't know if that. I don't know. That might be something we can try though, because we need to find a way to get answers to without relying on other people trying to deceive us. Because I
Yeah.
want the truth. 4d6 to my sneak attack. Now this was actually a big level for me.
Yes, same. I got
What's our current XP?
32.5.
2-5.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new levels. Or 5 new abilities.
I was like, whoa, wait, what are you doing over there?
You don't need to worry about that one, Nathan. I am now level fucking 13.
How many points
If
do I
only you had the feat.
have? Shut the fuck up.
Alright, but no, actually though, I got super strong this just now because my level 8, my level 8 Phoenix feat is a practice spellcaster, so instead of a level 4 spellcaster, Nathan, guess what I am? I'm a level 8 spellcaster.
That is actually insane. Wait, I don't think I got a feat. I can't remember. Did I get a feat?
I cannot look at your page, so I don't know.
Give me a second.
I have not yet closed my Google Doc.
Gotta still keep pumping Intimidate. For the day I can be scared.
Okay, I'm back.
Great. Actually, I can't open your doc still, Nathan. Level
Get your
8, you got... You did not get one.
I don't think I saw. Yeah, I don't think I get a feat.
Yeah, you don't.
That is the question. Again, I think we need to try to provoke an attack or a meeting with them and ambush. See if we can't recover shit from them. Maybe even capture one.
That seems like it'd be very difficult, seeing as they probably just kill themselves.
Well, I mean, we would obviously strap them down. But yeah, they might do the same thing as Korith, where they can't give out information without
Big
self-imploding.
ol' spiders.
That's true.
Andy, quick question.
Hmm.
The combat instructor skill, does that mean I can help Nathan train for his bonus HP?
Technically, yes, but you don't have a combat instructor background, and you're not actually necessarily a combat instructor, so you probably couldn't take the skill unless you had someone specifically teach you how to do it.
I do have 5 ranks in it, so...
Why do you have 5 ranks in it?
Because I've been putting him into it.
Okay. Fuck it, you can have it.
Thank you. It looks like I now have 6 ranks in it. It's very kind of you, Andy. Hey Nathan, do you want more HP?
I still need to roll.
That requires in-game time, so
I'm aware.
in this case...
How much per HP kind of thing?
How much?
Yeah, like how much time do you think it would take?
Every 8 hours is 1 HP.
Okay, and can I train myself as well?
Yes, you can.
Hey, that's what I like to see.
Let's go back to my good rolls.
Fuck.
Oh my god. That is so inty. That's so inty, it's not even funny.
Hey, Nathan.
Oh god.
Yeah.
We'll be spending a little bit of time doing some training.
Holy fuck. You're indeed.
Nathan, you
still-
took the crit success. Fuck you.
I still don't know how to update my training max, by the way.
Don't worry,
Should auto.
your training max isn't something you touch at all.
Okay, I was like, because it has not been updating.
Hold on.
Nathan, have you taken Greater Initiative or Grand Initiative yet?
I'll be taking, I think I only have improved right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking the next step in initiative next, though. Because I need
Yeah,
to hit
greater.
really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking about taking it as well just to get more, but Then I realized if I took it, you wouldn't win that tie on the ticks, and I could have killed you in the duel. Or, I could have just not been retarded and taken practice spellcaster and burned you.
I would have been able to
Sorry.
kill you two. To be fair, if I. So remember that first time I jumped out at you?
Yeah,
I didn't use the true damage part.
you're
I could have,
inting, dude.
but I did. I know.
You're actually inting.
I literally just forgot to use my weapon.
Also, your training max is updated. It is still updating. It's just that you've been rolling so well in your HP all the time that
Oh,
he doesn't ever fucking go below that.
I know. I've gotten really smurfed with my fucking rolls. I don't know.
Yeah, training max right now without toughness or improved toughness, your max HP is always going to be 3/4 of what it should be. Or for your training max, sorry, your training max is going to be 3/4.
Hell yeah, dude. I was just smurfing.
So it just means you'll never need HP training until you drop below that number.
It's a good thing you've been putting points in there though for your own sake, Brian.
Listen, I have toughness and improved toughness, Nathan. All right.
Yeah, the guy needs Ryan needs 29 more
Self-check.
max HP.
Holy
29, Nathan. All
shit.
right.
What about the best part?
I was rolling perfect. All right, perfect or one under perfect for every single roll, and then I rolled a 6, and then I kind of recovered with a 12, and then I rolled another 6, and I have not recovered. I've rolled a 5. Nathan, it's not happening.
But do you want to hear mine? Mine are out of 10. I got
Ye-
9, 10, 10, 9, 6, 7, 10.
Mine are out of 14. All right, 14, 13, 13, 6, 12, 6, 5.
You're really into holy shit.
Nathan, I have training and I have combat instructor now.
It is for your own good.
on that
That's
second
right.
6,
Hey.
all right, I looked at it. I go, I'm taking training.
You guys do get something pretty good this level though. You got to put one more
Alright.
attribute point in to your base amount. Yeah, you got to put one more into your base. So that should round out whatever you were trying to upgrade.
You know what that means?
Oh, that's
One more point in intelligence. I actually have 11 ranks to put into stuff right now. Let's go, dude.
for class? Or
For
skills,
skills.
I mean? Yeah, but
That
you might wanna
1
start-
point into intelligence gave me 11 points.
Yeah, you might want to start helping out here. I'm trying to trying to help you, man.
The problem is everything is charisma and wisdom and dex.
Yeah, that's what most skills tend to be. Yeah.
Listen, I just really, really, really want to know in what world use magic item is charisma and not either wisdom or intelligence. Kind of backward ass world is this?
You're backwards.
Yes, but kind of backwards world. You have to friendly talk a fucking magic item to get it to do your bidding.